Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream, and welcome to our next episode of The Age of Valador, Heroes of the Brine. Before we get started, before we jump in with everybody, just want to remind everybody that if you miss part of the live stream, you can watch the VOD. Subscribers will be able to have access to it. Otherwise, you can wait until it goes live on my YouTube channel this coming Friday. Yeah, that is really all I've got for everybody else. Make sure you follow so you get notified when I go live anytime, whether it's playing Dungeons and Dragons or any of my games. Lately, as of yesterday, I've started playing Fallout 3, so we're going to probably be continuing that. But anyway, that's all I've got for today. So enjoy the show, and let's get rolling.
All right. Well, since everybody's here, I'll go ahead and start with the recap.
Okay.
So, last game. Last game, Carrick, after you guys discussed your heading, figuring out your plan moving forward, you guys took off with the Tale of Algara to the Phoenix Mancer Flame, and Carrick got to meet Ignisaria, who removed the entombment requirements for the Red Star and gave it an additional +1, making it a +3 now. He also has the ability to cast Commune once per day. Jaina was also brought back to life as a gift. She returned to the port as you guys took off towards the Living Wood. From the time you guys left your keep and heading towards the Living Wood, you guys felt as if you were being watched and under a constant string of being scryed on, which was remedied by Perrin over a series of days and a continual crafting of amulets of proof against detection and location. You guys found out who was scrying upon you as you guys started to enter the Helmsworth Hills on your way to the Living Wood, and a contingent of temple clerics from the temple and some other followers made contact with you and demanded that you guys send all available forces as allies to the temple and the now Empire to the front lines to aid in the attacks on the Harzan territories. Negotiations rapidly deteriorated, and you eventually found yourselves being mocked by the Void. The contingent was dispatched after many attempts at banishment and keeping Tal Nod down. They obviously knew to go after the casters as quickly as possible. And afterwards, the Void continued to mock you guys, boasting about his contact at the Pillar of his control of the Pillar of Creation. And Garm decided to keep, after you guys read the inscriptions on the back of the false holy symbols and realized that they were enchanted as permanent trackers. Garm decided to keep one because it's ineffective while he maintains wearing the amulet of proof against detection and location. Maybe to be used cleverly later, or as a distraction, or even as a cellular device to the Void himself. An alicorn was also acquired by Garmilithrax. I've created the token and placed it on there. The current date in the game is Toils Day, Libron 4th, 408 AB in the early morning. Where's Garm's head at? After this fight with these clerics and figuring out what to do with these amulets, circling above, everybody would have noticed this white-winged horse, seemingly a Pegasus at a distance, but eventually landing and seeing a unicorn horn upon its head. And it would approach Garm and touch its horn to his chest. Garm would immediately feel telepathically linked to this creature and You will acquire the spell of Summon Greater Steed.
Ooh, sweet.
That way, if your steed dies, you can re-summon it.
Okay.
Where's Garm's head at?
Well, after the battle, Garm was pretty fatigued by that whole thing. It was a very tough go, especially for a lot of his comrades. But after a little bit of rest, and then the approach of his new mount, which he is psychically named Helios, he feels a lot like a wash of relief and just overall goodness.
All right, Perrin.
All in all, I'm happy to be moving and on the road again. I tend to feel more at home, man of action, getting things accomplished. Um, I feel we're time pressed for that, so it feels good to be moving and heading towards the objective again.
All right, Lorelei.
Lorelei is really tired of being messed with by the void. She hates being taunted, and it just is really getting under her skin. So she's trying to hone all of her energy in on trying to encourage the group to keep moving forward until it's done and dealt with, because she's sick of it.
All right, Carrick.
Eric is sitting there thinking about the ramifications of being attacked from multiple Valadorian sources, both the Grand Arcanist, the Legion, and the Temple at the same time, and is wondering just how best to deal with the situation. You see him take out some of his diplomat's pouches and begin scribbling messages both to Whisper and Empathy as well as Captain Hargraves about the incident, so that they're aware of how strained the relationship has become, possibly on an official level.
Okay. Ontario.
Oh, he's all right. Thinking about he's going to go over to Garm later and touch his horn to his chest. He's not thinking about much. That's about it.
Empty space.
He's gonna. Yeah, he thinks he's gonna do that later because it'll make him laugh.
Sorry, you're gonna what?
He's gonna touch his horn to your chest.
That I thought I heard that. I was just.
I'm gonna link with you.
Just let it happen.
With me?
Shh, it's okay.
Sure. You're gonna attune to
Docking of the minds.
Attuned to what?
We'll see.
All right.
There's no Me Too movement in Metamora. Too much? Too soon?
I'm just so. What the fuck?
Too soon? That's it.
I have protection from good and evil, just so you know.
It's neutral.
Depends on who you ask.
All right, so you guys are continuing your journey. You have roughly another 5-6 days to the Living Wood. Cart in tow. I'm assuming you guys are continuing on.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to save some space on the caravan. I'm gonna ride on Helios.
All right.
I'm going to have my my familiar flying way up in the sky, getting a good view of everything coming up. Like a bird's eye view, I think they call it.
Actually, I think I'll do that too. That way I can relay any information to you guys if I see anything.
Lorelei, yeah, she'll have Lenore on her shoulder to give her advantage on any perception rolls.
I'm gonna fly close to Garm.
You guys got so much flight now. We just
It's
gotta
like-
make.
It's
we
just,
gotta
if
make
it wasn't for the
Perrin's
wagon,
fly
we could
now.
just fly there.
We need Perrin's wagon to fly, and then bam.
Yeah. Why do you think I'm trying to build an airship?
Yeah, once the airship's done, we're not walking anywhere anymore.
Yeah, we'll just fly everywhere now.
I'm
The
not.
airship is my upgraded wagon.
Well, or you build a separate airship and have a docking space that your wagon comes out of, also an airship.
Love it.
Ooh.
It's a smaller airship. They used to do that. They used to, when blimps were a thing for 5 minutes, they used to put, back when like planes were like biplanes, they used to hang a plane under the blimp
Oh yes.
in case somebody
remember
needed
that.
to take
Yeah.
off.
And basically
They
just
could do
drop
that.
it.
Yeah, that'd be
Release
pretty
and,
sweet.
and fly. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
sometimes there
So,
were bombs.
you guys, as you guys travel forward in the early morning light, by afternoon you notice that the occasional rolling hill as you're entering the Helmfirth Hills becomes a little bit more prominent. The occasional rocky outcropping here and there. You can still see Dagnon Spine off on the western horizon, and you find that there are still grassy paths between the hills. Occasionally, you guys find yourselves having to travel up and over a hill. The terrain, not terribly difficult, just hilly. View is blocked from here and there, except for those of you that are flying and keeping an eye out, which is a good call. After the noon sun begins to set in the other direction, those who are flying, give me perception rolls.
Okay.
Let me see. What's a perception?
11.
Oh shit. Is that showing up? Where's my thing? 23.
Lorelei and Tyrael, up ahead in the distance. You see
Wait, I'm sorry, just a second. What did I get?
I don't know.
Are you flying?
What'd you roll?
Are you flying? You're in your wagon.
I'm not, but my owl got an 18.
I would see it as well. Gathering in between some hills, about a mile and a half ahead, are huge creatures. They are wearing loincloth, carrying large clubs, and they appear to be in a circle. And at the distance, you can see them all. It looks like they're talking to each other. Occasionally, you see one of them smack a club onto the ground, and they're gathered in a circle. What do you guys
Okay.
do?
How many did you
Wait,
say
what do they look like again?
They are
Huge loincloth carrying gloves.
huge creatures, naked except for the loincloths that they wear. At the distance, you would count 6 of them.
Are there any features that like look familiar, like a troll or a? Can I see that far?
They appear to be giant humanoids.
Oh yeah, we were looking for giants anyway. Well then I'm gonna go back down onto the ground and tell people because I don't
We
want
have
them to see me.
we have the alert system, don't we? We could just tell them while we're in the sky.
Yeah, but I don't want them looking at me. I already
So-
know where they're at.
Lorelei
Oh,
would head down too,
Oh, I
just
see
to
what you're
avoid
saying.
being detected by them.
How are you flying?
She's a witch.
Me
She's gonna
on my
roast you.
broom.
Oh yeah, your broom. That's right. I was
Yeah.
just curious. I forgot.
He's a witch.
I got
And our
a
panic system, when we're not in our keep, our panic system only has a 30-foot range for communication, unless it's also 30 feet within. It can be transmitted an additional 30 feet from the wagon. So the wagon gives us
so 60?
if you're 30 feet from the wagon, you can talk to someone 30 feet on the other side of the wagon.
So the
Yes.
wagon's a relay.
Okay.
The wagon works as a relay.
Okay.
So within 30 feet of you or 30 feet of the wagon. If you're within
Okay.
30 feet of the wagon.
All right, so the wagon has a 30-foot radius. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what's,
So I
what's
might
the
be too
plan?
high up.
So do we just go through and engage, or do we skirt the camp and hopefully don't get detected?
Is there, like, I'm still up in the air right now. I'm not moving ahead anymore, but is there a path that we can follow to avoid the giants? Like, essentially go around them?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys can skirt it.
Okay. I'll go
So-
back and relay that.
So how many are
What-
there right now, do we see?
Six.
6?
Was there a reason that we needed to talk to those guys by chance?
We don't need to talk to them.
No.
Oh, then I don't really want to talk to them, man.
Yeah.
We don't need to.
No, let's go around them.
It's my vote.
Yeah, let's stealth it.
There's
Yeah.
only 6 of them right
Probably,
now,
I
right?
mean, we probably don't need to stealth it. Like, I'm assuming there's a wide enough berth that we can just avoid it completely, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But
We
it
could
might
probably
be
take them, but why?
beneficial. It might be beneficial to walk in and be the strongest person there and demand that they tell us of what's going on around the area. Take control of the situation. They might give us recon and we'd be able to figure out how many other tribes or small groups there might be, or if
I
there's
mean,
a war
if we
party
have
out.
aerial reconnaissance, we probably don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
That's
don't.
And not to mention what you
See a
suggest is
reason.
kind of an evil action. We're a good
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
Like,
We
take
don't
control
need
of
to-
it.
Not be okay with
There's no
that.
situation right now. If we go in there, we're like the antagonists.
Yeah, I'm physically strong, like very physically strong, but they're giants. Can we kill them?
Yes.
Probably. I just don't. There's no. I don't
But,
see a
like,
reason why.
Unless there's true evil like in the vicinity, I don't need to fight. So
Yeah.
Hill giants,
Alright.
you know hill giants are along the lines of chaotic and evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't need to kill them unless they attack us. Then they're
Yeah, we
weird.
might. I mean, whatever evil they've done, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, trying to
like,
play
they're
within
just standing there.
Yeah,
I
trying to
was-
play
can't
within
remember-
our alignment here. Like, we don't need to kill them unless they give us a reason to.
I wasn't
my
talking about
alignment was
killing them.
good neutral. Well, they're not bright. Like I don't like. Even if I went in, like I don't know. I want to go to the.
Yeah, like I
I
feel we're
wanna
gonna
go to
end
the
up in a
Living Wood.
battle if we go up and talk to them. Like
It's
just
going to
out
be
of the
another
blue.
half a session at best.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Living Wood. That's my vote.
Learn
I
from my
don't.
mistakes.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it to the living wood before the end of the session.
Yeah, same. Let's do it.
Be nice.
Avoid them. That's my vote.
Seconded.
Let's go around.
Agreed.
We may find a reason later. I mean,
Yeah, it's always possible.
never know.
Yeah. We'll cross that
Never
bridge
know.
or we'll jump off that bridge when we come to it.
Burn it from both ends.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
All right.
Oh,
you
I'll teach
guys-
you a lesson jumping off of bridges just because somebody else did it.
I mean, you do have a sorcerer in your party who defines the definition of scorched earth policy if we get in a battle.
All right. You guys will skirt it, finding yourselves a couple hours past them. Dinner time's creeping up as your stomachs begin to rumble. Another few hours, and it might be a good point to make camp.
Oh yeah, I can bust out.
Heroes feast.
Do you guys
Oh,
want
you
to
guys want some
Do you
too?
want to
You
do
guys
that when we
resume-
wake up, though?
Yeah,
Do you guys
definitely.
resume aerial formation once you guys are clear of the giant pack?
Yes. I will.
Yes.
All right.
Well, yeah,
those in
you
the
gotta
air-
stay close to Garm.
Those in the air roll perceptions.
Okay. Yep. 18.
5.
I guess I could be
Lorelei-
rolling for Oracle, but I don't feel like it.
Lorelei would notice, and so Garm would notice up ahead a large statue destroyed. I mean, it's a gargantuan statue,
Okay.
and gathered around it is another group of giants.
Oh, god damn it.
There are
Okay.
8 giants in this next grouping.
Oof.
Well, it's just giant country, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lorelei notices the same thing. She also notices, kind of scattered about the hills here and there, She sees the occasional pair off to the west. She sees a trio of them 4 or 5 miles out to the east, standing atop a hill. One of them you can see has some sort of what at the distance is hard to make out, but maybe a spyglass.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
I go down to the ground.
She'll immediately use the panic system to let everybody know, like, get down if you're in the air.
All right.
Is one of
And
them
start to relay all the coordinates.
Is one of them looking at the spyglass?
It did not see you yet.
All right.
Down.
I'm going to psychically tell Helios to just take a dive.
Yeah, I'm going down. Everybody's going down.
I just fall.
Yeah, the ones that were gathered around the statue, you would have noticed that each of them had a different colored banner standing next to them.
Oh, that sounds like a meetup.
It's a meeting.
That's a move.
I kind of want to. Now I do. I am kind of curious on what giants you're talking about. I got some invisibility dust.
Based on that, would we have any knowledge of, like, is this a normal thing for giants to do? Like, based on intelligence, like, they don't, like, I know they probably have like tribes and all that stuff, but did they have like gatherings like this?
You can roll history.
I'll
Sure.
roll history for no
Take
reason.
advantage with mine.
Okay.
Just want to see what I'd get. That's not bad for a -1.
That's
I mainly rolled
14.
because I wanted to see how bad it would be.
Me too.
Get your low rolls out the way.
Well, I got a -1, so 13's not bad.
Holy crap, Perrin.
What the fuck?
So everybody else would know the basics of things. They are a tribal culture. Any tribal culture would, have meetings over things such as territorial disputes, treaties, trading of resources, things of these nature. Perrin would know that such a collection of a large gathering of different, what appears to be tribes, based on the description of the banners that Lorelei and Garm would have given, that this may be a meeting of war bands, a meeting of clans coming together to form a war band.
That doesn't sound good.
Well, Valador has been marching. Is this area? I'm not looking at a map. Is it between Valador and Harsbane territory by chance?
No.
We're more towards between the Cordal Deeps and the Living Wood right now.
Yeah,
But the Grand Legion outposts are just to the east of this region.
It makes me wonder if it might have something to do with Valador.
Yeah, this area was such. Perrin would also know, in this area with such a large, giant population, and no identifiable resources within the foothills themselves, that taking the foothills is essentially costly to the Empire and Republic, and due to known treaties between the Giants and the now Empire, the Giants kind of keep to themselves and keep out of the territories, and the Republic, now Empire, does the same thing. So without any resources for the Empire, the Giants are essentially granted their territory as long as they stay the hell out of the Empire.
Right. I'm kind of interested in what they have to say, but I still want to keep moving. I mean, well, those familiars, we can't like hear or see through them, can we?
We can up to 100 feet away, but they can go observe and then come back to us. They speak any language you do, I believe.
What if you put that helmet on? Would that somehow make them understand Giant? If you understand it at the time you have the helmet on?
I'm going
like
to say no.
Because
that doesn't make sense with the spirit of the spell, I think.
Have we taken that rest yet?
No, we haven't.
Okay, so I got just an idea. If anybody has a spell that would make them or make you or somehow make something like a familiar understand Giant and be able to relate it to you. You could send
Hold
one in
on.
and land it on a branch and listen,
I
and
mean,
then
Lorelai
anyone
have it
could
come
make
back.
with
herself
animals?
invisible and put on the helm and go fly by and listen.
I just figured it
Yeah.
was safer. Maybe one of those giants is a fucking wizard. They could,
So
Yeah.
so
maybe
I
the
have a
void has
spell
giants.
that can give me something like that for about an hour.
Well, like that's what I was saying. Like since you can cast a spell, send a bird or familiar in or whatever, listen to it, have it report back to you, and you can get the spell back. I think on a long rest. I don't know how spells work or short rest.
Well,
Yeah, it's
it'd
just
be a
an idea.
long. It would take a long rest, but
Oh,
it would give me basically. How far away from them are we right now, Mike?
About a mile and a half.
So, um, at a 30-foot move, max 30-foot around move, it would take how long to get to them?
by flight, by a bird.
Oh, by flight as a bird, it'd take you like probably if you're double moving, it would take you 8 minutes.
Nope, just single move.
Single move,
Can't double move.
30
15.
minutes.
15 minutes?
Yeah, we'll just call it 15.
Bird. They fly
So
quick.
I can do it and give us 45 the next it'll take 15 minutes for my thing to get there, but it will give us 45 minutes of audio and visual.
I mean, if you really want to do that.
It's up to you guys. That was just an idea I had. I was kind of curious of what a band.
I think it's worth it.
grouping
I'm
of
willing to
giants.
do it. I'm willing to do it. I think it's worth it.
We'd be losing like maybe 30, like 15, 20 minutes.
So,
Sounds like we'd be losing an hour all told.
Actually, we
Have
can
we-
keep moving, and the bird can just meet us on the road. It's gonna fly faster than we're walking, and
Oh
flying
no,
probably.
it's even better than that. Once I cast the spell, we can keep moving. Absolutely.
All right, let's do that then.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Don't have to stop. Just have to stop long enough for him to catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not. Sit in your wagon. Do it.
Sure. At least then we can avoid it while getting some intel at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we had a long rest since the last combat?
No,
No.
we haven't. That's what we're planning to make camp and everything, but I don't think we're in a good spot just this moment.
That's fine. All right. So,
I just used Mojo Jojo to mark the token and placed it on top of the giant statue's nose.
Okay.
okay.
Holy shit.
Wherever it can hear
I'm-
them without being seen.
This is what I'm casting.
Oh my.
I can't see it. I gotta put a word.
Arcane Eye. I create an invisible magical eye that within 30 feet of me. I
Okay.
receive visual information from the eye, which has normal vision, dark vision out to 30 feet. The eye can look into every direction. As a action, I can move the eye 30 feet in any direction. There's no limit to how far away from me the eye can move, but it cannot enter another plane of existence. Solid barriers block it, so I have to go around things. I can't pass through things, but I can pass through an opening as small as 1 inch in diameter. And it's concentration an hour. So I cast it. I take an action to cast it, and I start using my action every round to send it towards them as we continue to move and figure out where we're camping. 15 minutes later, it's there. And I can hear and see what's going on, so I'll put on the Helm of Comprehend Languages.
Okay. As the arcane eye gets into place, and as you're kind of seeing these images come in, the statue, and it takes place on top of the statue overlooking what's going on. The one right next to the statue, south of it, you hear him, and understanding his language. Fire and sky, big sign. Big sign. Unite clan. Make war band. Unite with monarch. With our sovereign bloodline. I say, blood bottlers, best to unite. And then the one across the way says, flesh lump eaters, be ones to unite with sovereign. And then the one to the north steps forward and says, child chewers shall lay claim to this.
Jesus.
And then one to the south, left of the blue dot, says, maid mashers shall be the ones granted this. And another one argues and says, gizzard gulpers best for this. And then another one, no bone crunchers. And they continue, and they're going at it. Before the one here says, everyone knows that. The one here, next to the giant hand, says, everyone knows me drippers, brightest amongst you all. We shall settle in way we have always done. Whoever is last standing shall unite with the sovereign and control the warband.
Idiots.
Oh.
Wish I could see that fight.
So Perrin's the
that-
only one who's seeing pay-per-view right now.
Perrin's got a pay-per-view front row seat.
Perrin, why'd you bring up popcorn?
Oh. Does that mean we could show up and defeat him and unite with the sovereign and lead the war band? No.
No, yeah,
one-
I don't think so.
You can.
Yeah.
I got bigger things. Got more important things to do.
No, so
The
with
one
that
here,
knowledge history I had on the Giants culture and whatnot, what do I know about the sovereign? Do I know anything like uniting with the sovereign? Does that like ring any bells? Do I know anything about the history or culture of Giants that would do anything about that?
you would assume that it would be in relation to a bloodline that they identify amongst the first of giants. So regardless of all their own individual clans and bloodlines, the sovereign would be essentially a bloodline that they deem purest amongst their kind.
Would that be a matriarchal bloodline or a patriarchal? Do I know?
I think they said. Oh.
It would be a matriarchal.
Oh, so this is how they're picking the next king, because currently only the queen rules. Okay. I'll relay what they're talking about. I don't see a big issue. If anything, they're going to turn their attention towards the Empire, which means the advance on the Harveins should weaken, which is good, because they'll have to turn around and focus on the giant threat on their borders again.
All right.
So I think we leave it. Are they
Sound
duking
plan.
it out right now?
No, they're still arguing, as even though it was suggested, some of them are hesitant. The one up here closest to but north of the statue, he says, blood huggers, say we vote.
Oh, interesting.
One of them
Vote?
decided democracy should work out. I like their original way better. I think that's how we should do things.
And then it restarts again with all the giants, Gizzard gulpers say no to vote. Smash! Blood drinkers. And they go back into a circle of arguing and debate again. The only one that hasn't been saying anything the entire time is the one with the blue dot to the south. And that is a female hill giant.
Oh, okay.
Is she adorned with anything that
Uh, sh-
might denote her?
she is covered in tattoos, and they are of symbols in giant that reflect a status of power.
Altaria wants to fake titty somewhere.
You don't see
She's
anything.
letting the
Zuriel.
boys tire themselves out.
She is topless.
Get the fuck
I'm-
out of here.
I really wish I had Skyrite.
Daryl's just shaking.
She
Perrin,
is.
let me see the titties.
She is huge.
Ah,
You could use them as a bed.
So are we? We're still moving, right?
yes.
Okay. Tyrael. Yes, he says begrudgingly.
Got his pants off though.
How far away are we from that group? Are we able to think about making camp soon?
You guys are about 25-30 minutes from that group.
Okay.
I wait
So
for an hour or
Based
so.
on all the coordinates that Lorelai gave us, is there a path to get clear of all of them without encountering any of them?
Possibly not. They seemingly are moving at random, and since you guys have taken the eyes out of the sky, the arcane eye would have seen a pair of giants not noted on the coordinates resting between two hills with a small fire, roasting an entire sheep.
Okay.
This area is heavily populated,
Yeah.
most likely due to the meeting of clans.
If I keep okay, so once the arcane eye is done, I will keep my owl flying around, 80, 90 feet above us, just kind of circling and meandering along with us. And at that range, I can sit on my cart while Mojo Jojo drives, because that's one of his primary functions anyway, and just watch through the owl's eyes and survey how everything is going. And if I see any new giants from that vantage point in our path, I will let us know so we can attempt to steer clear of them.
I'm sorry. Just for clarification on the on our familiars, does everybody have that ability to psychically see through their eyes, or is it a spell?
It's part of the familiar.
Yep.
Okay.
Everybody has that ability.
Okay.
Yeah, up to
then
100 feet, if I remember right.
I'll assist that with Perrin by sending Oracle up. My owl as well.
Okay. As you
Since we're running
guys,
at time, that looks appropriate.
are skirting the gathering of clans, you kind of come to a dead stop behind a hill with a rocky outcropping. The owls, through their eyes 100 feet ahead of you, they would see, as they're circling back to the other side of this hill, they would see a gathering of 20 giants camping out under the rocky outcropping.
Oh shit. 20?
Yes, they carry a green banner with green war paint on their face.
Did that banner was that shown up in that gathering at all?
Yes, that would have been the Flesh Lump Eater
Okay.
clan, as Perrin would be able to identify it.
And the flesh lump eaters, they were the ones that first called for the battle to begin, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So they're pound first, ask questions later.
Aaron, based on your knowledge of giants, do you think that they're gonna plan like some sort of ambush at this gathering to
I
to push in their
don't
favor?
know that they are obviously based off of what we've seen, one of the larger clans, and they're the first ones demanding the fight, so they're probably more powerful. Those tactics would show them as weak in giant eyes
Okay.
because it's about strength,
Okay.
and an ambush is not strength. Head on is strength.
Okay. So why why would they have such a large group like near the gathering then?
Because their war party that their band of warriors is a larger, stronger band of warriors.
So it's possible then that the other banners have their groups around here somewhere. We just haven't come across them.
That is possible, or it's that some of those other camps of 5 or 6, like we first saw, like those 6 could have been one of the tribe war parties,
Oh, okay.
right? So
Did that first group that we passed, did that group have any banners while they were standing around? Or is it just a bunch of
The
giants?
first group had different war paint on, but no banners.
Okay.
Half of them were red, half of them were orange.
Okay.
Based on the colors, if mentioned to Perrin, he would be able to identify them as the child chewers and blood bottlers.
Okay. So that tracks with what you said. They're probably just got their groups hanging in the background. Okay.
Oh crap! I thought I was muted that whole. My bad. I thought I pushed it. I'll dry my hair. How does everybody have a way to make themselves invisible at the moment?
I think Lorelei does.
Yeah,
Way to make the
I
wagon
do.
invisible?
I mean,
just myself.
I can make myself. I have way back when we were facing the Nazi elves. I got some dust, a couple things of dust of disappearance that never got used.
You'd probably need more than a couple to make the wagon vanish.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what it takes to, I don't know. Let me go look. But I mean, I was thinking like I could make myself look like a bird. We can fly over them.
Let's see.
See. Dust of disappearance. Where are you? For dust.
what do I think I might be able to
Wait,
bribe
here we
them
go.
with?
You and each creature and object within 10 feet of me. I can make all of us and everything that's within 10 feet of me invisible for 2d4 minutes.
So up to 8 minutes.
Yeah, that's probably long enough to
Would that
get
also
past
include the wagon, or is that just going to be us?
Yeah.
me and you and each creature and object. It's an object.
Oh, sweet.
So yes.
Looking at it in a square type layout, if he's in the center of a 9 square block, if the wagon takes up the 3 behind him, we each gather around him for 5 more squares. He could turn everybody and everything invisible.
Yeah, that could work to slip past the group, the 20.
Now, the only caveat would be to silence the wagon so its wheels don't make noise. Unless, of course, parents designed it to where it don't make noise when it travels.
I mean,
Is there a way to make the
have
wagon
designed
fly,
it
or am
to
I
where it
strong enough?
makes-
What'd you say,
I have designed it to make as little noise as possible, but it does. I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
It's a wagon.
Yeah, like
It's got objects in it. It's a whole workshop. It's not
Yeah.
yeah, like
bottles clinking.
Yeah. This.
How much does it weigh? Can I pick it up?
Probably not.
Parent, can you
Yeah.
cast like muffle noise or something like that?
Or giant strength or something? I don't know.
so.
Wait, the horse can fly. Horses can, like,
Yes.
hitch a wagon to them. Can the alicorn like take
I don't
off into
think
the sky with the wagon?
I don't think he can pull a non-flyable wagon.
Oh wait, what are we talking about? Can we put it in the portal? Like, can we fit it in the hole?
That is possible.
What,
Assuming
the
it
wagon?
fits in that 25 foot
Yeah.
by 25 foot space.
The wagon will
Yeah.
fit in there?
It's a
I believe
plant, the
so.
hole. Can we? We put it in the hole, and then we can just get it out when we're past everything.
As long as the hole don't have too much shit in it.
Probably not. When's the last time we put something in there?
The fire
Right.
giant, we put his helmet in there. And there's also necklaces and a quarterstaff. So yeah,
Okay,
as long as the
ain't
fire
shit in
giant
there.
helmet's not effing huge, the wagon can fit in there.
It's DM's calling.
Put the
that.
wagon in the hole. 'Cause
So we could all
I
just
can-
go in there too and like have the alicorn like fly us over.
Well, no, I'll fly, but you can fly. I can carry whoever
mean-
else doesn't fly. I can carry
Yeah,
people.
like we could if we do
I'm strong
that,
enough.
then we could just fly over the mountain range at this point, can't
That's
we?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Make us invisible, and then we'll all fly away.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys grasp how big Perrin's like wagon is.
I don't know how
Well,
big it is.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a big wagon. I don't think it's gonna fit in the hole,
It's not-
but that's
It's
up
not
to
like a Red
DM.
Rider. It's like a or like a basic garden cart or like horse and buggy. It's a traveling.
It's a
workshop.
caravan.
So how
Think of it like, you know,
That could
those
do
real nice big carriages that would have like three rows of seats type deal, you know, two facing and then another one, you know, like that you've seen in shows like the big carriages. It's like twice that in length almost. I mean,
I'm picturing
Jesus.
just like a gypsy wagon.
Is Talnod
Yeah.
bubbled? Does
Oregon
he have a
Trail
fucking
wagon.
make things small spell or something?
it lasts for a minute.
I don't know.
Wow.
I
Well, then I don't-
It lasts for a minute.
Well, I don't. But minutes. I don't know. Let's do some kind of spell if it's not going to fit in the hole. That was my best idea. I thought we could fit
I
it
mean,
in
it
the
was
hole.
it was a pretty good idea, pretty smart. I just don't think.
Okay,
the
yeah,
wagon's gonna
there's
be big
no
enough.
way it would fit. At least not for like the D&D Beyond or Roll20 definition, because it's only 6 by 10.
Yeah, it's
That or a spell that can make it light enough for me or the horse to haul it.
Is there with Oracle still in the flying around? Is there a safe enough route in between the army, the Green Army, and the gathering that we could sort of like quietly like maneuver through to avoid both?
with backtracking, yes.
How about I make a
Backtracking.
distraction?
Probably about 30 minutes to an hour.
You know, I just wanna
Has-
do
Oh,
that,
that's
backtrack.
true. We could always set a diversion to like try and draw them away
Yes,
from where we're traveling.
I'll try to make a distraction or something. See if they'll take the bait. You
Yeah,
guys
but
can
then
go
every-
through.
Then
What
every
about,
giant area is going to be alerted and looking for something.
What about
If
what
they're
about
not looking for us, it makes them less likely for them to find us.
Arm.
yo?
Oh yeah, you're saying something?
Oh, I was just saying, what if because they're like in an undercrop of the mountain.
Yeah,
just
like
push them,
I don't know.
distract them, and push them up further the mountain. That way, we have a bigger or wider opening.
Oracle would notice two giants appear from behind a hill about half a mile east of where you are, heading in a straight path towards you guys.
Oh, shit.
But sight is blocked of you, of the group, by a few other hills in between.
Well, I mean, I can be invisible and try to like maybe make a bunch of noise. What pisses giants off?
These type of giants, probably like almost everything.
Probably a shorter list of what doesn't piss them off.
Yeah, that'd be a much easier
Well, like
list
the
to
thing,
compile.
like something that like a noise that they would recognize.
Maybe not
Well,
something
like,
to piss
did
them
that
off, maybe
big
something
history
just
check.
attractive. Like, what about a giant flock of sheep? Can you replicate something like that?
What are the larger predators in the native to this area?
That would scare a giant.
Probably not.
the occasional manticore, a hippogriff on rare occasion. Not so much, threats as they are. Not so much a direct threat as things that they would deem threatening, though. Things that would have to be dealt with if possible.
Okay. And the type of dragons to the foot that are prone to foothills and stuff like that. What type of dragon would we normally see in this type of area?
Probably blue dragons.
Closest would probably be a green, wouldn't it? But those are forest dragons. I don't think
I
there's
was
a dragon
thinking blue,
that nests in
lightning
hills.
dragons.
I thought lightning dragons were in the desert.
They are.
You'd be looking at potentially a copper.
Okay.
They enjoy dry uplands, hilltops.
Oh,
I got an idea.
Okay.
So we got that drift globe. That makes it's daytime, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I got stuff I can I got drift globe is bright. I got some. Where is that shit? Alchemist fire. I can just make a visual and fucking auditory fucking noises and sights and shit. Just try to get their attention and see if they fucking come my way. They start coming my way.
Yeah,
I'll
like you could
go up
almost
in
like
the air.
summoning the army to that spot.
Yeah.
like,
every giant
rally,
just get them away.
like a rally point almost.
Yeah, I mean, we can try. It's just an idea. I can try to do as much distracting shit as I can, or as much,
Yeah.
And see if they'll fucking come my way, and see if you guys can't get on by. I'll still make everybody invisible.
Yeah, give that a try.
That
sounds good.
And if they start coming my way, I'll go up in the air and try to catch up.
If you guys are continuing, Oracle, the owls in the air would spot a lone giant crossing over a hill a couple hundred yards ahead of you. Your guys' its view of you is blocked by yet another hill in between it. Everybody roll perceptions.
Is that perception of ours or for the owls?
For yourselves.
Okay.
29.
Fuck. God damn.
As
18.
As Perrin and Garm, through the owl's eyes, see this giant crouch down and lift its loincloth between the two hills. Everybody else at that distance hears loud, bellowing bowel movements exploding between the hills.
Oh my god.
God.
So
Laura
here's the question,
puts her
are we
hands
upwind
over
or
her
downwind?
Big
Yeah.
piles of
Got-
shit.
But guys, truthfully,
Feels close.
I think that
Feels
if-
close. Does it smell close too?
Could feel
Don't
the
smell it.
bass.
You only heard it and felt that reverb.
You'll get downwind eventually.
So
So
I'm
guys-
backtracking and getting out of all the people that are coming towards us from ahead.
If we are invisible and try to maintain a little bit of distance, and obviously the distance we are currently from people, which isn't that hard to do, we should be fine. They shouldn't really hear us because they make tons of noise themselves, as we can tell here. So
I'll still
if
go
we-
make a fire and make some noise. Get some, away. I can catch up with you guys. If you guys are going to be on foot.
if we think someone might be onto us, if you want to run that distraction, that would be the time to do it. But until then, I think we all stick together, invisible, and just try to avoid them, and just keep moving.
Well, wait. It only lasts for 2d4 minutes, so got to pick a time to do it. I got 2.
I would
But-
say
They said something about a charge
How-
too, but I didn't see anything about how many charges it had.
Well,
I bought 2 of them for me and my wife. Never used them.
they're probably a charge each.
Yeah, I think it's just 1 charge because it only has 1
Yeah.
square.
so.
All right,
well,
I would
here,
only
I'll,
cast that then
here.
once you know that the distraction is working.
But what we do is, if everybody rides on the cart and we keep the animals tied next to the cart, you can just activate it from the cart and get us off.
Yeah, but if Tyrael is off trying to make those distractions, he's gonna be away from us. So if he
Well,
does it while
Tyrael
he's
can
doing the
then
distraction, it's gonna get wasted.
We could just not do the distraction. Keep them low guard. Because if he makes a distraction, all the giants in the area are going to be on alert and
Right, but
searching.
here's the thing, right? The 20 giants, right? They're right in our path, are they not?
Not if we're
Pretty-
backtracking.
Are we
But
backtracking?
it's up to you.
I'm saying it's an option, and I vote for that. Backtracking because they got a whole bunch of stuff in front of us. Not just the 20 that are sitting there, but the 3
Right.
that are heading our way. Not counting the one that's taking a dump.
Yeah,
right now.
no.
Take this into consideration. We know what was behind us when we were fucking there, but apparently they keep moving around. So if we
Yeah, so
backtrack, we're also running the risk that now there are giants where we were.
So
I agree with Tyrael
23
on that.
versus 7. Which would you rather
It's up to you.
fight?
There might be 30 behind us now. I don't know. I'm just saying, just keep that in mind.
He does
If you
have
guys
a
want to
point.
vote on it, take a vote.
We know what's ahead of us, but we don't know what's behind us anymore.
Take a vote. I gotta mute the mic real quick.
I think that we can go around what's in front of us without too much effort or really backtracking, just taking a little bit off the side. But what we're going to need to do is if we all ride in the wagon and Tyrael's on top of the wagon, we keep the rest of the animals tied up along the side of the wagon.
Okay.
If the owls then alert us that, oh my goodness, we're not going to be able to avoid a group coming up or something like that, we go invisible. At that point, we continue to try to avoid, and if it looks like they may be hearing us or something like that, Tyrael can fly off and run his distraction and try to get them to stop looking at our direction as we all sit there very quiet. And when they look the other way, we go.
Okay. I see. Yeah. Okay. That
I think-
works. I like that.
I think that's a combination of
yeah.
everybody's plans.
I think at this point, like, we kind of have to just keep moving forward and hope that works, because I don't think the backtracking is going to work anymore.
I agree. So, I think that's the best
we can
thing.
give that a try.
Worst comes to worst, we just show force.
We
But
kick
like,
ass.
we try to avoid that.
And if worst comes to worst, we ditch the wagon. All right.
We'll see.
So moving forward.
So I will tell Helios to pace quietly behind the wagon for now.
Okay.
Try and tuck in its wings as best it can, just to, minimize its target and try and act like more of a horse than it is a Pegasus.
Well, wait a second. Like, how is I imagine your wagon is like really strong. Is the roof really strong? Can the fucking horse stand on the roof or lay on the roof?
You want Helios to stand on the roof?
I would not.
I asked you for a strong roof.
It might. I don't know if I would trust it.
That would also stand out way more than just having a horse walk beside a wagon. It's like, why is there a horse on the wagon?
Not making noise with loud ass hooves.
That's like
it's-
walking around with a platter with a meal on top of it.
Yeah.
Because these
But
guys eat whole
the
animals.
wagon is making more noise than that.
Also, it's like what kind of terrain is this? It's like grassy terrain.
Grassy
Hilly.
hills.
Yeah.
Grassy hilly
Like
terrain.
while Helios is walking around, he's just gonna make like small thumpings, like just normal walking thumping sounds, because the grass is gonna sort of cushion cushion its feet.
Yeah, kind of. You guys been around horses much?
Yeah, I have.
They're loud. Yeah, they're not. It's louder than you think. I guess if it's just walking, it'd probably be all right. But runs.
I'm not
I don't care
I'm
what's
not telling
underneath
him
of
to
it.
run. I'm telling him to like stay as close to the caravan as possible, trying to make minimal sound. So
We could just kill it and then you can get it back later.
And what's Tyrael doing?
Well, you guys we're supposed to be riding in the wagon. I don't know. I want to be able to take off into the air. I mean, you say I'm not doing a distraction yet?
No, not unless we think we're being spotted, which we aren't yet. but I figured you could ride on top of the wagon because it is strong enough to support you. That way you could easily get up in the air as soon as you use the dust of disappearance.
Yeah.
I
Since
can do
that's the
that, or I
first.
can make myself look like a bird and go fly.
I mean, either or.
But then you would. I don't think you'd be able to cast the Dust's Disappearance then.
I'd have to
Yeah,
come down and
unless-
get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, so either maybe you leave the if you're going to do that, leave the dust of disappearance with someone at the cart so we can hit the cart with it,
Yeah.
or because it the gives us a much better chance of being seen and detected if it's not with us.
I can give you guys one of them.
Okay, great, that'll work.
Sure. Yeah.
As you guys are continuing to debate, the one that was using the restroom is now heading up over the hill that separates you from it.
Okay.
Time to
Well,
move.
we better. Yeah, we got to do this now then. So are you saying if he peeks on that hill, he'll be able to see us?
Yes.
Okay. So
I use the dust on us.
dust.
I use the panic system. Everybody stay by the wagon. Do not move. He doesn't know we're here. Hopefully he'll walk right on by.
Yep.
Everybody roll stealth.
Oh fuck me.
This seldom goes well for a Carrick. That's actually probably the best stealth roll he's had in the past 5 attempts.
It can only go well for Lorelai.
Oh my god. I'm
Wonderful.
sorry.
Oh my god.
I have
As you guys are all-
disadvantage and a minus
As you guys
one.
are all
I'll
hunkered
re-roll
down,
it if I have to.
as you're all hunkered down and everybody's being relatively quiet,
Oh no.
Hold on.
Garm's
Hold on.
shoulder pauldron catches a piece of cloth dangling
There he is.
and knocks into a shelf as he tries to pull away from it.
Oh,
A bunch of
come
bottles go
on.
clinking, and as he tries to stop it, he hits Carrick, who hits the wall of the wagon with a oomph.
Can I
And the
try to
giant-
catch whatever's knocked over before it clanks?
Oh no, that too was you missing all of the
Oh
clinking.
no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
As the giant is alerted to something, and he looks out, and Perrin, who's peeking out after using the Dust of Disappearance, sees the giant scanning and looking around, and you see him get down low on the ground and start coming down the hill, and he's looking around at everything, and you see him stop, and he's staring at something. It's the slight movement of impressions in the ground from the wagon and the horses.
Ah, shit.
And he's
Jesus
kind
Christ, are the giants that perceptive? Fuck.
of he's kind of mystified by what he's seeing. The look on his face. He lifts a hand up and he scratches the top of his head, and you see him stick a finger in his belly button and pick something out, and he eats it.
Ew.
And he keeps looking and just thinking. And just looking and thinking. And probably a solid minute goes by of him just staring. Just uncertain of what he's seeing or what he just heard. And then he starts to walk towards the wagon.
I am
Okay,
going
Oh,
to float
wow.
away.
We rolled so
Oh.
low on that.
Slow on what? You all. I don't think you've ever passed a stealth roll. As soon as he said roll stealth, I was like, well, never mind.
No, but also the Dust of Disappearance. We get 2 minutes and he's already like checked it for 1, so we lost a minute on that.
Who rolled that?
Baron.
Baron
I did when I did it when I hid the wagon from him.
Ah,
fuck.
shit. I was still in the wagon. I should have done it, and I could have re-rolled.
Oh, shit.
Distraction, go.
Yeah, I'm gonna-
Panic system, distraction, go.
Do something.
Nobody's talking. No more ideas. We have 1 minute. I'm
Safe
going.
word.
If anybody talks, I'm gonna let them find you. I'm going. I'm floating away from the wagon. I can't. I mean, I don't see
What
detailed.
what are you doing? Yeah, quick. What's Tyrael
Yeah.
doing as his distraction?
I'm
shit.
flying down the trail, back the way we came a little bit, and just clanking my swords. Goes.
Oh my god.
And so he hears me going. I'm not. And then I stop floating and I stop. Fuck you
So,
guys! Ding ding
so
ding
you
ding
were
ding ding.
so you were under the dust of disappearance. Once you get 10 feet away, he sees something just all of a sudden appear, flying away, clanking its swords,
Yeah, good.
and he immediately locks eyes with it, and he begins to make chase with big, heavy footfalls. As he reaches behind him and pulls a large horn out and blows into it.
That's fine. I'm gonna keep going, and then
Oh no.
I'm gonna.
So as he's making chase and blowing this horn, what's the wagon and everybody else doing?
Hauling ass
Well, should we wait until they've
the other way.
gone past us?
Don't start hauling ass just yet. Just
Yeah.
Like, be
Wait until
less
the giants
wild than
has passed us, then we start moving.
What,
you don't-
what's the
you don't
big
have
group
time.
of 20 doing? Like, can the owl see what the big group of 20 is doing?
Upon hearing the horn as the owl's circling, the group of 20 appears, as well as from hills in all directions, another 40 or 50
On
quick count. that are just kind of converging on the horn blast from all directions.
Oh no.
We'll let them
If-
do
if-
that because the horn blast is leading them away from us. So, like, we will just,
Well, wait, did he not blow the horn in front of the wagon?
He was running away from the wagon when he
no,
blew
he
it.
was going back the way we came.
Right.
But he's in proximity of the wagon when he
Right.
blew the horn.
So,
But but the distraction's running away. He's running away, blowing the horn. So the horn is moving away from where we're at.
right, but are
Is
they
my
going to cross our
understanding.
path still?
Yeah, so we just gotta wait for the 23 or whatever that's in front of us to pass us, and all the guys that are off in other directions, they're gonna be following where the horn keeps blasting from as it moves.
Right.
If it wasn't
Yeah,
for that wagon, I could have carried damn near all of you away. I'm telling you, shit like that. The
Are they
Wagon's
passing
making
us?
things interesting.
It pisses me off.
Are they passing us now? Oh god.
Holy shit.
It's a Titan.
Go ahead and drag Tyrael down here.
I got a couple ways I can escape.
I feel like we need to shrink these tokens a little bit to account for scale.
Where's my fucking debate?
All right, so Tyrael is banging swords and running. You have the Helm of Comprehend Languages on still, Perrin?
Yes.
You hear it yelling after him as the horn goes down as you guys are getting ready to make your move, yelling, I eat you! I eat you! Interrupt sacred ceremony!
You're pumping! No, sorry, I don't understand him. I
Yeah,
wish I did.
You just hear him yelling, yo gabba 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 gabba.
Yeah, yo gabba gabba. I know that one.
All of a sudden, Tao Na starts whistling.
Alright, so you guys are just waiting for giants to pass.
Right.
Yeah, because like the group of 20 and and then we're going to head back directly towards where that group of 20 was because the other groups probably aren't going to go right to that same spot. So
Hopefully not.
we're going to try to like avoid the incoming as we move away.
Alright, so as you guys are waiting, the owls are circling. From the west, where you guys saw the meeting of the clan leaders, you see the clan leaders appear atop a hill. And they're all heads on a swivel, looking out. And you see one of the clan leaders push another clan leader down the hill.
Nice.
And then the other clan leaders just divulge into chaos on top of the hill.
That was your doing. That
Yes.
was your doing. Bam, bam, bam.
Let the battle commence.
Well, looks like they're gonna get their free for all.
All right. So
Battle
while they're
Royale.
distracted,
All right, and how long are you guys keeping the wagon invisible?
It's only got 2 minutes.
It
So
was, yeah, 2 minutes. So I assume
So
it's done by now.
does the pack of 20 make it past in the following 60 seconds after it gave chase to Tyrael?
It does not.
Oh
You
shit.
hear it thundering in your direction. A few minutes from contact.
Oh,
Up,
fuck.
up on the hill, you see the giant that was pushed down, charge back up, and the clever giant, the one who suggested that they solve it by the rite of combat. You see that one, kind of with the other giants. It appears as if it's directing it. All the giants turn on the one coming up the hill as they all begin to just gang up on it.
It was
bludgeon
his
it to
fault.
death.
Oh my god, nice.
And as this is going on, and the thunderous sound of charging feet are continuing in your direction, all the giants on the hilltop calm down as they begin to rip apart the dead giant and all share in feasting upon it.
Oh,
That
jeez.
makes them calm down.
Which
Super.
do we
ew.
see which color it was that got ripped apart?
I don't think they were carrying their
Uh,
banners.
Yeah, from this distance, you wouldn't be able to tell
Oh, okay.
which color it was, but yeah, they don't have their banners with them. The banners were stuck in the ground near where they were standing.
Oh, okay.
Well, does he look like did they? I assume the giants looked different. Was there a way to be like, oh, that's the giant that had this banner?
At this distance, they all look big, ugly, and scantily clad.
Okay.
Oh
Alright,
shit!
so-
Is Kitty Giant there? It wasn't her,
Yeah.
was it?
Those are the only two you can tell apart. Is the smaller one, the cunning giant, and the one who would be that you guys would assumed was the sovereign. But yes,
the
you would
giant
see
is sovereign.
there would be boobies would be on the hill.
Oh, I know where I'm going.
Is the pack of 20 still stampeding, or do they stop to witness the fight?
Oh, they're still stampeding, and as the other one's chasing Tyrael, it lets out another horn blast.
So
Is there
can we
any-
maneuver the cart like around the side of a hill so they hopefully don't see us?
You can try.
Yeah,
There
let's
would be
do that.
there would be a hill to the east that you may be able to hide the wagon behind as they're charging past.
Yeah, let's try
Okay.
that.
Yeah, let's
So
do
you
that.
begin
Let's
to
do it.
You begin to maneuver the wagon. Tyrael, you've changed heading towards the hilltop.
He's killing
you're, you're gonna do a flyby jeeping.
Hold on.
Oh my god.
It's a shame that the panic system doesn't work at long range because I can tell him the translation for "Hey, nice titties" as he flies by.
I was blowing beard hair off my shirt.
Oh my god.
So I gotta go back to the computer screen. Yeah, so like not being able to see like detailed things, like he's chasing me down. I'm a fighter. I'm an athlete. I'm pretty fucking fast. So he's chasing me down. Can I see the giants, the plant meeting giants when they come up across the hill if I look over my shoulder
Yes.
or something? I'm assuming.
Yep.
So I'm gonna start making like my way that way. He can keep chasing me. I'm gonna start going up in the air as quickly as I can take the fuck off. And I'm gonna. Is there trees around, or is it just open hills?
Open hills.
All right. Is there anything around me that, like, where I can, like, be out of that giant sight for even a second?
Yeah, you can dip around a hill.
Yeah, I'm gonna dip so I'm gonna dip behind something just long enough to make myself look like, I don't know, a common bird from the area, one that I've seen while walking.
Using what?
Yeah, Hat of Disguise can do that, yeah? Or no, I don't know. I haven't looked at it for a while.
So it would work as the disguise self spell.
Yeah.
So-
how does that work? Let's do it. Hat of
It would be
disguise.
to change, like, essentially, like, color of your skin, changing a hat. You can appear thin or fat. You
You're
would need
thinking
a wild
Okay.
shape or polymorph.
Okay, never mind then. That's right. That's a different than. It's been a while. So instead, crap, we might need it though. That's my last one. Yeah. So what? I saw the weapons the giant had.
Just a giant club.
How far in front of it am I?
You're a couple 100 feet.
And how tall is it? Last question.
It's probably about 15 feet tall.
15? Oh, that's no problem. I start going up immediately. Up and up
Okay.
and up and up.
All right, about a half a mile to your west, you have clear sight of the giants on the hill.
I start heading that way. I still let him see where I am because I want him to head that way. I'm kind of hoping that the one they ripped apart is a friend.
Yeah, so as you switch direction to the west, it makes chase up the hill after you and blows its horn as it appears on the hill. The gathering of giants feasting on the other giant. As they're eating, some of them see the giant come up over a hill, blow its horn, chasing after you, and they're looking at you as well
No problem.
as you're heading in the direction. The stampeding of feet that was heading towards the wagon as they were trying to maneuver and hide behind the hill shifts direction and begins to head slightly west
Towards me.
in these moments.
All right.
What's Tyrael doing? What's your overarching plan here?
Do I know where the wagon is at the moment? Can I see
You
it?
know
Or
it. You can't see it.
Okay, but did I see where it went at all?
Nope.
Okay. And I'm out of range for panic.
So
Okay.
Tyrael's on his own. What's he doing?
Well, I'm high in the air. I've still got my familiar. Can I tell it to go find the wagon?
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
It's split off from
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and I can see through its eyes, so I can see what it sees. I'm assuming.
You have to be warging. Like, think of it as
Oh,
warging.
okay.
So you have to be sitting. Like,
That's fine. I'm just gonna tell it to, hey, go find the wagon, and then come back, tell me where it is. Gonna do that without warging?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's what it's doing. I'm just gonna fly by close enough to that group to see what I came to see, and then I'm gonna go as high as very high.
okay.
Into the
How
clouds.
How close
So
is?
I didn't have that fucking hat of disguise on anyway. It's not attuned to me right now. But what I do have is better. Necklace of adaptation. So I'll go. I don't care how high I go or how thin the air gets. That should take care of that. Yeah, breathe normally in any environment. Brought that for the Underdark. Never used it. Never took it off either. So, yeah, I'm just gonna go so high they can't fucking see me. I imagine at some point they're not gonna be able to see me.
Yeah, as you fly in close enough to see what you came to see.
Snapshot.
You hear a voice in your head in common. Is all this ruckus you?
Can it talk to me if I don't want it to?
Oh, you have a ring of mind shielding on.
I do.
So yeah, no.
Well, here's hold on, let's see. I'm immune to magic that allows other creatures to read my thoughts, determine whether I am lying, my alignment, or my creature type. Creatures
okay.
can telepathically communicate with you only if you allow it.
You feel something trying to telepathically communicate with you.
Click.
Does it feel like like it feels when the void is being a dick?
No.
Then I'll let it speak to me. That's all. So you can finish your sentence.
Is it you making all of this ruckus? I am sovereign here.
Is it titties?
You would assume so.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, what do I say?
Like a schoolboy.
Well, I mean, since it speaks common, you just say, "Hey, nice titties," and just fly away.
You're speaking common to me. I say, how are you doing?
Oh my god.
Hey,
It says, if one is choosing to interrupt our sacred ceremony, does one wish to participate in challenge?
What sacred ceremony?
To lead warband.
Challenge who?
The rest of those who stand amongst me and control the other clans.
What do you need a war band for? Who are you going to war with?
He says, I do not seek war. I am just the sovereign bloodline.
What do
I
they seek?
wish to
war?
not
Oh, so-
unite. She says, I wish to not unite with any of them.
you might have a chance at some
says-
titties, Tyrael.
I got a
He
wife.
says,
Won't see him.
he says, they seek war with the Empire. Well, with the Republic.
The Empire. Do they? Why?
He says they take the fire in the sky that happened earlier as an omen and a sign that they should begin to reclaim territory.
I'm really high in the air. At this point, I imagine, if at anything, I may look like a dot if they can see it. So I stop where I am, kind of.
The horn
Stop at that
continues-
elevation. Go
The
ahead.
horn continues to blow.
That's
As
fine.
from your elevation, you're seeing giants somewhere around from all directions now and from other hills. Somewhere around
Yeah, I feel-
100, 110 on
At
quick
this
count.
height, I should be able to see the fucking earth. So a lot. They're coming to where they are though. They're staying away from the wagon, so that's good enough. I'm gonna keep talking to her. I'm gonna ask her if she knows what the void is.
She has no idea.
She doesn't seem unintelligent. She's at least much more intelligent than the other giants. It seems by the way she talks.
Yes.
I'm going to, in the simplest way possible, in fastest way possible, explain to her what the void is, and that it has control over the leadership of the Empire.
She says, these
Yep.
things do not concern me, nor anything involving Valador.
Well, that's the thing.
She
It's
says, giants
Go
are
ahead.
simple. She says, Valador, swift and crushing us. They believe that
will.
the sign that they had seen is a sign of strength and something that will give them power. They are fools.
oh,
not wrong.
the warband thinks that if they get that, they'll have power. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
But if these fools are all dead,
Mhm.
then it's not a problem for me and those of my kin.
So sounds like she wants them to go to war with the Empire so they can be crushed and dead.
No, she wants them all to die.
He wants
what
you
I
to
said.
come in and kill them and take your rightful side and send the war party home.
Well, they just killed one of them, right?
Yeah, we're down one. That's 6
So
more
how
to
many?
go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there were 6 total, so that's 5 now, right?
There were
8 total,
yes.
Oh,
counting
that-
the female. And they killed one, and we're leaving the female out of it. So that's 6 males to kill.
can we kill fucking? Do I have to fight them all at once, or is it 1-on-1?
I'll
How's
probably
it-
do a free for all.
It would most likely be a free for all.
But I'd have to fight them myself.
I mean, you're by
Yes.
yourself, so yeah.
Yeah, I
the
can't.
party
I
has
don't,
no knowledge of what you're your conversation.
Oh, yeah, this is
We don't
Right.
see anything. This is all you.
yeah.
I'm not sure I can win by myself. I mean, it'd take a lot of time from far away.
I mean, since you can fly, Turret Tyrrell will probably take him out in about, what, 8 turns?
I mean, with great rolls, I don't know how strong they are.
You used to fly in the air and shoot them.
Damn. But we got more important shit to do.
This is all on you, man.
I know.
The
I
choice
don't know
is
what
yours.
I didn't expect this.
Tyrrell's the centerpiece of this session.
Yeah. I was making noise. Oh, because it's all happening because of a fucking wagon.
No, it's because you got a hard on for giant titties.
This is true.
I could have gone back when the second I learned about him. I didn't.
It's another case of Teddy's getting Tyrrell in trouble.
I wanted to see those, but I really
Hard to
thought
argue
something like, well, maybe like I thought like, well, what, like some of the giants come in here like, oh, you ripped our guy apart. That's what I was hoping.
Hey,
I
look at the
sure
bright
there's
side.
any way
If you
for her to.
win-
Go ahead.
Said if you win, you get a nuzzle up in them titties.
No, I got a wife. I just wanted to look. I can look now. I just can't touch. He's a religious man, believe it or not.
Mary would be so proud.
She's great.
So what's
She's not just my wife.
Tyrrell-
I'm not gonna
Tyrrell's
fight.
answer? She says, "What?"
I cannot.
Will you act as a champion for me and take to the field of combat?"
Now?
Yes, pretty sure the answer.
Yeah.
They're currently fighting over who's going to lead. Like, come on.
Yeah. I'm on a very important mission right now that I cannot do. As much as I am tempted to do this, I can't.
She says,
Wrong
"Well, let's
time.
talk of the void and your mission." She says, "I can grant you safe passage through the hills, and you won't have to skirt any of the war bands."
And for what? Out of the kindness of your heart, or
She
what?
says,
In exchange for killing those bastards. Gosh, Johnny.
Let her talk.
This is a rocket science, man.
Is that what you were
He's
saying?
a fighter.
"Yes."
Fuck it.
You kill the six leaders, and we get to go through the Helmsforth Hills without any more interruptions from the giants.
How close are we to the fucking to be out of these fucking hills? Are we still a ways away?
The wagon's like halfway.
Yeah, you're about a day and a half.
I don't think I can kill 6.
You'll have to camp once to twice, depending on if it was a straight path. You'd camp once, depending on how much you have to skirt. You could camp 2 or 3 times.
Did I see like what weapons those other giants have? Just clubs or what?
Clubs, big old clubs.
How big's the tallest one?
Like 17 feet tall.
You have the
God,
height.
these
dodge
guys are
rocks.
17 feet. How tall is your boss?
Oh, your boss is like almost 30 feet tall.
Yeah, he's very big. He's a rock giant. Or something, mountain giant?
I think it's
Stone
25
giant.
feet, somewhere around there.
They're all like hill giants. Dumb.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck it. I mean, I gotta fight him by myself. It's gonna take a long time. I'm not coming down to the ground. You were ready.
I just
I don't
flip
know
the
why
screen
you're
real
so
quick.
surprised.
Yeah, I'm not coming down. I'm not standing on the field. My field is wherever the fuck I say.
All right,
I can shoot from 100 feet away.
Also, we need to be down one giant since one of them got murderized.
I already did.
Yeah, you said there were.
The
There's
one that
no
was
Which one's-
I
the
still
one that
got
was
8.
here. Well, that's her.
Oh,
There were 8
and
other
her.
giants.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
so there were 9 total.
Got it.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Which one's her? Her?
Yep. You see her talking to the other giants, and they move back down the hill. They come back around the statue as you hear her say, "You will have to join them on the field." And you can see her pointing at you and the other giants looking up at you as well as you're flying in close. She says they won't honor the fight.
What? So I can't fly if I fight?
She says yes. She says, but you can use whatever weapons you choose. And
Come on, Tyrael.
That sounds sketchy.
And you have
This is
no
getting
idea
dumb.
what they're saying. All the giants are like pointing as you're flying in, and you see them looking at her, and they obviously don't want to disrespect her, but they're definitely complaining in giant to each other.
I asked her, what are they saying?
Actually, would Perrin's arcane eye still be up?
No.
Oh, darn.
Did my familiar come back to me?
Not yet. I just included it over here.
Yeah, I want him to come back to me and go tell them what the fuck is going on. I think I'm well out of range for panic at this point, am I not?
Oh, you're definitely out of range.
Yeah, the party is at the wagon.
We're
Coast
still
is
moving.
clear as the giants are moving away from you now.
I'll
The
say this:
material
you're
is-
making an excellent distraction.
Go ahead, let Mike talk.
Yeah, I would say around the hills, kind of surrounding this area and the statue. Giants are kind of gathering from all of the different war bands, and starting to look down on the hill, and they're all staring up at you as you're making these decisions.
What do I have? I have a good potion of something? No. I need to remember to buy shit.
It's been a while since we've been to a shop.
Nothing's really gonna help me here. Well, I asked her what the giants are saying to each other.
They're complaining about how small you are. They're talking about how you would make a great meal, and that one so small would never garner the respect of the collected war bands. And what hope would one so small have of laying any claim to victory against being so strong and so tough? Hill giants equate power to size.
Yeah, I'm sure. Makes sense. And they're all going to be fighting me and not each other. I imagine they would want to fight each other too.
It would be a free-for-all.
So it's going to be a free-for-all. All right. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to summon my familiar back. And I'm going to tell her, I'll do this, but I have to relay a message. Fuck it.
It would take a few minutes before you see your familiar fly back into view, and then come back and communicate with you that it's located the wagon in hiding, and the wagon is safe.
Am I telepathically communicating with it?
Yes.
I cut her off and communicated with it directly, telling it to go tell them what happened and what stupid fucking shit I'm doing right now. And potentially, get that eye back up. Keep an eye on me. And you're welcome.
Would we understand his familiar?
Nope. John, Material does not know this.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah, hope so.
Would our familiars understand his familiar?
No. Does anybody have speak with animals?
Nope.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
I think my dagger has speak with animals.
What?
Yeah, didn't
Your
you
dagger?
have something that had to do with...
My
She had
+2
something-
dagger of returning.
Had something to do with. Maybe it
Yes,
had
speak
something
to
do with
animals 1 time a day with birds.
What?
with birds. That's fucking
What? Wow.
hilariously convenient.
That was straight luck.
That's
Tiro
so
has no idea
random.
how this familiar works. He's like, I was given this fucking bird.
I should have put a note on it. All right, fuck it.
Yeah.
All right,
Free
so the
for
bird
all.
Very
flies
random
back,
spell, but okay.
relay the information, and yeah, pulled that out of the deep.
That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually
I
said that.
completely
I
forgot
remembered
it could do
something. I was
that
like, that.
That
until
is a-
he said it.
that is a plot dagger.
I remember saying something.
I didn't even know that shit was on there, but I remember
I
it
remember
now.
when she got it. I was like, why? And now, that's funny.
was,
All right.
It was an heirloom.
Yeah, from my
Holy crap.
person who taught me.
Well, I say, fuck it. Are we doing this or not?
All right, Jerry will select
Oh,
your token.
boy.
Roll it up.
Oh boy, here we go.
Fight, fight, fight.
29.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, I can't be
He's going first.
surprised.
Alrighty.
Got that alert thing, which I don't know if it's gonna help me now. Lucky might. I'm gonna need all the luck I can get.
Just got to deal
All
with
right,
7
Tyrael.
giants, man. 7 giants.
All the giants are looking at each other, looking at you, looking at the sovereign, and they all kind of at once, and you can kind of feel the tenseness in the air. Pull their clubs back and begin to just move. You go first.
They all moving towards me.
They all just begin to move.
Hmm.
Like you can sense the battle is starting. What do you do as the first action?
Who's the big? Is there a biggest one?
Right there.
The one right fucking. How big is he?
He's the 17-foot tall one. He's the one that is green.
Have I been looking at him for a minute at least,
Oh yeah.
or around him? See, spend 1 minute. You can. Well, you can tell me it's strength score, dexterity, constitution, armor class, current HP. One of those.
In
It's up to
relation to you?
Yeah, compared to my own.
It has way less armor class than you.
Good. I start unloading on it.
Fire away.
Fuck it. Go with.
Show him who's
revolver.
boss.
Great.
Miss.
I'm gonna re-roll that. I
Lucky on it.
cannot. Yeah, I cannot
Wait,
start
let's-
out that way.
Way less AC. No problem, miss.
Giants instantly unimpressed.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen.
Knew he too small.
That didn't happen.
Is it a
There we go.
Yeah, it just
Alright.
didn't happen.
Hit.
One.
Hey,
Two.
Aaron, just as a quick side question, how loud is that revolver? Aaron?
Oh, we hear it.
Okay.
Clack, 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 clack.
18 hit.
So we're in the.
Oh,
wagon.
shit.
Just like, what was that?
So for 2 of those, I'll just do it this way. Fucker. You ever like you click on like the area to type in and like you leave your fucking cursor there and then you can't see what the fuck you're typing? Do that all the time. It's fucking annoying. Oh, well, that was kind of not great. An extra 8 precision.
Okay.
And attack 4 has to be with this. 28. How's it looking?
I'm looking pretty pissed off as it's been pelted with explosive pelting of force and feeling its body being punctured in multiple locations, followed up by a crossbow bolt sticking in the side of its neck.
All right, fuck it. I mean, I'm gonna have to use it at some point during this. If he's the biggest one, how is he bigger by like a lot than the rest of them?
Yeah.
Action surge. So that
All
gives
right.
me 3. Come on. Don't fuck me.
Hit.
Flash. Roll. Oh, fuck it. 4 again.
Gotcha.
Well, I had a 1 and a 7 last time. That's annoying. The dice, man. That was revolver. Revolver. I'm just trying to do damage. I gotta hope they fucking hit. 17.
Hit.
That leaves me with. I got 3 left. Damn. Yeah, I don't want to use him. I just want to kill him. Slash roll. 10. That's a good one. For an extra 8. My last attack. Come on. 14. Still alive?
113 total points of damage, as it's a boom, 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 boom.
Hey,
And
Tim,
it's-
did you miss a
it's-
revolver shot?
Mike's
It's-
talking. Hold on.
As it steps forward,
Mhm.
with this pelting catching it in the side and its eyes locked with you, one of its eyes roll back and the other one closes. As before the fight even starts, it falls forward dead on its face.
Oh fuck.
So,
The other
It's-
the other
Go ahead.
giants, in the flash that all of this just happened and seeing this one, just the biggest amongst them, die, they all kind of like stop and like take a step
Hey,
back and like stare at
instead of-
you.
instead of moving with
they all
my
take a
proficiency
step.
in
Yeah,
I was gonna say, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, what were you gonna do? Because they all stop in reaction to
Like,
the
right-
biggest guy.
Right as he falls, with my proficiency in intimidation, I'm not doing like I'm rolling or anything. Just I'm gonna get as big flex as hard as I can with my fucking gun and crossbow in my hand, and just look at the rest of them and scream, like war scream as loud as I fucking can, as pissed off looking as I can.
Roll intimidation.
All right then. I can't remember the last time.
Let's go.
Oh, that's fucking. Hold on, I gotta fix something. That's not right. I don't know if I've ever fucking rolled it.
Probably not since we
Proficient.
climbed the mountain for the first time.
No, this is going way back. He's supposed to be proficient in intimidation. But it's not. My character was custom made by B-Ray on this thing. Damn it, where is it?
What's your intimidation bonus?
Well, right now it's a -1 because it's not selected as proficient. I thought he was supposed to be proficient in intimidation.
What's your proficiency bonus?
Oh, yeah, I could just do that.
Proficiency -1.
I don't fucking remember where that. Oh, there it is, 5. So
So
4.
one
So just roll and add a 4 to it. Yeah. This is that was a flash from the past. Every time I did something, what do? What numbers? Garbage. Reroll. Come on. Wait. Oh, that's not doing it. What am I doing wrong?
Nothing. You're rolling
That
one
Nothing.
d20
You're
plus
rolling.
4.
You're just rolling badly.
Make sure you put the
Yeah.
D in front. Right?
No,
Yeah,
no,
you're
you're,
right.
right.
rolling bad.
It's just big rolls, huh?
You're just rolling bad.
Yeah, you
Okay.
rolled a 4 and a 2.
Well, I only got one last shot at this. One D20 plus 4, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you've done that.
There we go.
there we go.
Now I'm out of lucky points.
Why did you roll it a third time though?
When you roar,
I failed twice.
when you roar, you see this one and this one kind of do one of those like cowering shake steps back as the others kind of like lower their heads and their clubs and cower a little bit, uncertain of what just happened. All they heard was thundering noises and blood splattering out from the from the largest of them, who falls forward dead. And they're all kind of stupefied and scared. And none of them are speaking.
So I look at her. Oh, it's combat still, right? So I don't know. That's what I want to do.
They don't do anything. They're kind of frozen in fear. They are uncertain of what happened. Have never seen weaponry as such. And you hear a voice in your head. She says, "That went better than expected."
Are we finished?
You hear her begin to speak in Giant, not understanding what's being said.
Sure.
As you see all of the giants, one after another, begin to kneel and lower their heads to her.
Oh fuck! It's
And
already over.
She continues to speak in Giant. And then after a moment, you hear her voice in your head saying, "They think you're a demigod or a god,
Yep.
and that you have
Nice.
interrupted the ceremony to basically prove them wrong, and that the omen was of your coming and not assigned to attack the Republic."
That's what she told them. Smart. I'm still not looking at her eyes, but
And then the giants stand up, and one by one, approach you very cautiously, reach out, and touch your shoulder and bow their head.
Holy shit!
And then they all kneel.
tell me the party's watching.
They don't see any of this.
We heard a gunshot. We heard one gunshot.
It would take an arcane eye like another 10-15 minutes to show up, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but all of this is all the party has.
It's
This is
been
all
like
gonna
10
sound
seconds.
this is all going to sound like bullshit to the party.
Lorelai's not going to believe you.
Fuck
I
off.
can't cast Arcane Eye. I don't have any more spell slots high enough.
All right, go ahead, Mike.
And then, she calls you over to her side. Do you go? Do you go to her side?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she kneels down next to you and holds out her left hand to you, and expects you to put your hand in hers. Do you put your hand
okay.
in hers?
Crap. This is gonna piss my wife off.
Going for this.
I asked her, since she can telepathically communicate with me, explain to me what's happening. As
She
quickly
says
as
it's
you
the
can.
final. She says it's the final piece of the ceremony for your union to me, to gain control of the warband and disperse them.
Crap. Yeah. I'll.
You don't have
Oh,
to sleep
she's
with it. Just
got
take
me.
her hand and disband the warband already. Jesus.
Yeah, go ahead. If she fucking stabs me, I'm gonna get
Finally,
mad.
something goes the way he wants it to, and he's like, nah, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
do
all
it.
talk, no bite, or all bark,
No,
no
I'm
bite.
more like just.
When you
I
lay
don't
your
know.
hand, when you lay out your hand on her hand, she speaks in Giant, and the other giants stand up, and they all speak in unison, and there's a harmony to it. It sounds as if they are praying and saying something ceremonious. And then she stands
Good.
and picks you up and places you on her shoulder, seating. And in your head, you hear her say, "Husband, you must give the command to disband the warband."
Ooh. Polygamist.
Disband.
And then
Giant
she
love.
relays the information to the giants, and the giants all nod their heads in unison and begin to disperse and head in different directions. The giants around the top of the hills, as you kind of look around and realize that they've all been watching, they all stand up from kneeling and begin to go to their respective leaders following them away. And by the time the party shows up, it's just you and this giantess standing amongst the statues. What does the party do when they show up and see Tyrael standing in front of this very huge, large-breasted giant sitting on her shoulder?
I'm
Carrick's
gonna
like,
Lorelai
"Oh,
shoots
I'm
over
Mary."
a
I'm
disapproving
looking around
look.
for the other giants.
They're all dispersed. You would have seen them dispersing and heading off and collecting together in war bands and following the leaders that you guys had identified at this meeting originally, leaving the location.
They're my giants now.
I'm gonna ask what happened.
Did they take the dead one, or did they leave him?
Oh, he's basically just in pieces. So yeah, there's
the
not
one
much
that,
of him
the
left.
one that Tyrael killed, I think you meant.
He's tomato soup
Yeah.
on top of the hill.
Yeah, hill giants are. Oh, the big one that was there.
The one that I killed, yeah.
Yeah, no, he was collected by his clan and his body taken with them. As he was
Alright.
being taken away, you see his clan pulling him into pieces and consuming
eating
him.
Yeah, my people.
Your people?
So what are you telling them? What happened?
They're not gonna believe me.
You relay all the information of these events.
What is happening?
I don't say anything. This is what I do. This is what I do. Garm, come here.
Okay.
How tall is Garm?
How what?
How tall is Garm?
Yeah, how tall is Garm?
6'5".
Hold on a second. Hold on. A little shorter than me. Come on, roll
Little
good.
shorter
roll good,
than
roll
you?
good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're shorter than me. I'm like 7-something feet tall. Oh, 17. Does he see me with my dick out?
I'm right in front of you.
I rolled stealth.
Jesus Christ.
I float up just high enough that my dick's touching his chest.
What the fuck? I'm going to
I'm
back
explaining
up.
what happened here. I'm explaining what happened here.
It's like the Dende joke from Dragon Ball Z abridged.
He's alicorning you.
I didn't feel a bond. That doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm backing up.
The giantess, as you guys are all gathered and kind of staring at Tyrael, and she witnesses this go on. She says, "You must be friends of my husband." In common.
Lorelai says, "What?"
Yeah, so to get you guys safe and to stop 100 plus something giants of eating you, I had to fight them and take control of the war band by myself.
Wait, you're saying you control the warband now?
Yeah, something like that. I dispersed them. I dispersed the war band, so I controlled it for like 5 minutes. They bowed to me and touched my shoulder like I just touched you. I was trying to explain what happened. You didn't get it?
No. No, I didn't.
I dominated the motherfucker and controlled the war band. She doesn't want anything to do with the war band. So she asked me if I would fight all those giants, and I did. And I killed one of them really quick.
Eric asked the
Did you
giantess,
hear the noise?
"Giant, is what he says true?"
She nods.
She speaks common.
Yeah, I know. Carrick just didn't want you to know what he was asking.
Oh, you don't want to get touched, do you?
Carrick's like, "Story must be legit. The giantess says he's speaking the truth."
Garb is still in awe by like that being true.
I mean,
Sure.
if he focuses on one target, he can lay waste to pretty much anything.
Yeah, but the fact that all it took was one target.
Well,
I fucked him up. You guys didn't hear all that noise?
Yeah,
We heard one gunshot.
Yeah, Perrin would
I
know
thought
that
about
these
7.
hill giants as a whole are very simple creatures. There are those that are more cunning or clever than the rest. The occasional
her.
one that does have a decent fair amount of intelligence. But most of them, close to all of them, are very stupid.
You know how sometimes when you make a copy of a copy, it's not quite as sharp as the original?
Lorelai will edge up to the giant and say, "Did he pay you to say these things?"
Oh, she needs to explain. I gotta explain it to her. Lorelai, come here.
I'm gonna like sort of like put my hand on her shoulder and just like shake my head in her direction. It's like,
Yeah.
See, he
Lorelai's so
understands now.
dumb. She
Explain it to her.
probably would be like, "Yeah, explain it to me."
And as she's standing here and she's letting you guys talk and be still in disbelief, she turns to Tyrael and she says, "Do you prefer they watch us consummate? Or,"
Consummate.
Oh,
she says, "we must become one."
Warband. I already gave you everything you wanted. The warband, it's disbanded. You don't have to deal with them anymore. Yeah,
death by
I
snooze.
have a wife.
She just keeps staring at you.
Carrick says in Elven, "Now would probably be a good time to fly away." Unless you
I
want
mu-
Mary to hear
I
about
must
this
go.
later.
My people need me.
I said, don't forget about my mission. I did this
oh my god.
because you promised if I did, we would have safe passage through the lands to get to where we needed to go. I told you it was important. I've given you everything you wanted, didn't I?
She winks and says, "It was joke, tiny man."
Yeah, I didn't
As
think.
she turns away,
Oh, thank God.
begins to walk,
I used to say it. I almost said, I'm a little small for you, aren't I? And
Like
then,
throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
hell no. I'm not saying that. The only reason Mary's alive is because she's a magical elf.
She saw it and immediately got turned off.
What was her name, by the way? The giant?
She never said.
Never asked.
Don't know your wife's name?
Sovereign.
Oh, her name is Sovereign.
That's all you know she goes by.
What clan? Like, I guess that's all. I don't need to know shit else. She's given us what I wanted. I didn't want to say out loud. Period. I've cut my mind off. To Tyrael, the wedding isn't real. He can only be married through the one, like he'd married Mary. So that's the only reason he went through with it, because didn't count. If they think it counts, it's all that matters. I was worried like part of the ceremony was like I had to take her hand and then she stabbed me. So I didn't want to do it. They're giants, I don't know. So all right, yeah, I did the thing.
Tyrael
Yeah, I
can
was
have an
hoping.
inspiration for
Thank you.
dealing with the giants. And yeah, you guys now have safe passage to the Helmsworth Hills. You will not be bothered by any of the giants as you pass through.
I'm super
Well,
Tyrael's hungry, so this is a nice spot to get that rest in.
Sounds
Bring
like
I'll
it.
start making us food and dinner.
Bring the wagon on this way and park it right here with everybody and start a camp. And it's a good point for a quick 10-minute break.
I always pick abilities that recharge on a short rest. Oh no! Oh, is this a long rest?
It's at this point it's
Good.
your stomach's definitely rumbling. It'd be a good point
Right.
to camp.
Good. Because lucky is actually a long rest. Unfortunately. That's good.
Yeah. See you guys around 4:30.
Welcome back.
I missed just before we went on a break. Did we take a long rest?
We did.
Okay.
So, during the long rest, Carrick would probably invite Garm and Perrin to inspect this ruined giant statue that's embedded in the ground. See if we can figure out if we know any history behind it.
Sure, I'll assist with that.
I think the highest one is Perrin.
So
At
I'll
+10.
roll it with the advantage then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a bad roll.
You would assume that this is a statue of Grolantor. who is the giant god of hunting and battle.
Could you put the spelling in the Roll20 chat?
Yeah.
Glantor.
You said there's a god of hunting and what?
And
War.
fighting. War.
Hunting and war.
Battle, maybe.
Yeah.
I take it he's primarily worshipped by giants, or?
He's the hill
Yeah.
giant patron god.
Oh, nice. I wonder why they left the statue in ruin. Or if someone else ruined it and they just haven't repaired it.
Probably that.
How old do I think it is? You want masonry? Like, what do you want me to roll for me to give you
I would go
an
with masonry.
approximation on
What is-
how old it is?
what is
so like
masonry?
mason tools?
Yeah, I would go with mason tools. Be able to gauge its weathering.
That'd be D20 plus 5. So 20.
Solid roll.
You guess it to be somewhere around 1,000 years old. Probably around a millennia, based on its weathering.
It's probably fallen, and hill giants aren't the smartest, so they probably didn't know how to rebuild it.
Given the
But it's
sheer
still-
size of it, it would probably take something like a stone giant to remake it.
No, it's probably just the same place of honor. So
That's a big statue.
Yeah, like it's 45 foot tall, the face alone.
It'd probably be about a 300-foot tall statue.
Yeah.
Like a Colossus.
I wonder if at one point, if we want to improve diplomatic relations with the giants, if we could remake it using the help of Yorbos and his buddies. That'd probably be a tall order. Like that would be a group project for even for stone giants.
Would mending work on
Unintended,
it?
tall order.
give me a few days, and I could redo it.
You can redo a 300-foot stone statue in just a few days. Holy crap!
Could you just not use mending on
Maybe.
it?
No, I mean mending is. No.
I mean, it's a structure, right? So.
Yeah, but the damage is too great.
No. In the coming days, after the night of camping, you guys would camp one more time within the Helmfirth Hills. It would only take you a little over a day and a half to make it out. Occasionally, a giant would stop, bowing its head to Tyrael and pointing you between a set of hills or down a certain path, helping direct you out.
Very nice.
Oh, he really likes it when they bow to him.
Stroking his ego. Because his wife ain't around to stroke something else.
While I see that happen, I'm just gonna give the expression just man, I still can't believe that actually happened.
Believe it. Dog, did you need me to explain it to you again?
Nope. I'm just gonna keep trotting along on Helios, just kind of uninterested.
Lorelai will ask you if you've told Mary about your other wife yet.
I will still think it's funny.
All right. So do you guys continue on past the Helmfirth Hills as you enter the Keldmore grasslands and find yourselves moving through an open plain?
Nice.
Continue on your heading?
Yep.
Yeah. So should we just go ahead and just go down through this way and
Wrap around.
wrap around?
After another day of travel, you guys, on an eventful day of travel, you guys would find yourselves entering the occasional sparse forest passing small clusters of trees. Another day of travel, and you would begin to see the density of the forest increase, as well as to the west, and a seemingly infinite amount of trees in that direction. There are paths through here, heading heading towards where you believe Veradon is.
Okay.
And Eridon is the town that's at the entrance of the Living Wood, right?
Technically, any of these areas could be entrances, but Veradon is located central to all of the open area along the Living Wood, and established as closest settlement that doesn't trigger anything within the Living Maze.
Okay. So, yeah, so we'll just continue down the path that I believe would take us to there.
Yeah. As you guys are continuing to follow the path, you begin to see the occasional banner marked with a V on the path that you are moving along, with an arrow pointing down the path.
Okay.
As you guys continue further and further down the path, these banners get tighter and tighter. There's more and more of them, and you start to see signs that have X's, or entire areas with chains tied between two trees, with the sign behind with the sign beyond the chains, with an X on it. And eventually, it transitions into basically railing along the path on both sides to kind of guide and make sure that you're not veering off of it.
Like a Valadorian V, or
No, probably
Everybody knows
represent
what V is?
Veradon, I would think.
Veradon, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, you would assume that it's a mark of Veradon.
Because if it was Valador, it'd probably have like the Valador crest or something on it.
Yes, you would probably most likely see a symbol of Tempest.
well, what do I know? I'm just the leader of giants.
I mean, it is a simple people, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Perrin, you can have
Blinding in the
you can have an
blind.
inspiration. Inspiration to Perrin.
Tyrael, the dire disaster reigns.
All right, as another day of travel, and you start to see the occasional person passing by on the path. The people that you're seeing aren't common tradesfolk. They appear to be of the adventuring type. Large packs upon their back, cases upon cases that are a little bit too large for scroll cases. They look more like map cases.
Ooh.
Some of them have easels attached to their packs. Some of them have sextants attached to parts of it. You begin to see spy glasses and just a variation of general adventuring and mapping tools.
These individuals with mapping tools, is that they're approaching us and stuff like that. I will always try to flag them down and stop and talk to them for just a second to see what they've been mapping, see if I can buy, buy some maps and stuff like that. Just try, take a look at anything they may have for sale map wise, because I do love a really good map.
I'm just a
I'd like to
simple
kind of.
giant king, but they're probably mapping the forest.
And well, the Living Wood, the paths don't necessarily stay the same.
Yeah, the common theme, as you know, they're more than almost all of them are more than willing to show you their maps and excitement. The common theme, as they pull out 30, 40, 50, 60 piles of maps, opening up their map cases and 10 maps sliding out that they unroll, and you're going through them. The common theme here is that they're heading home. They've spent too much time mapping. Some of these people have been away from their home for 6-7 months in an attempt to map the Living Wood. Some of them have given up after just a couple weeks. The ones who've given up at a couple weeks they're a little bit more distraught. You see little bits of looks of horror on their face when they describe, some of the maps that they made. You also see that a lot of these maps start out the same, and then when they get to a certain point, the maps are completely different. The paths completely changed. You see that every map is completely different from every map you've seen amongst all of these mappers that you stop and have communication with. They're all willing to sell their maps to you for, coppers, and they all tell you the same thing. I don't know what good it'll do you. It's an impossibility to map this place. I do wish you the best of luck, though, and I'm happy to part with the useless papers that I do have. Copper per.
If any of them are particularly unlikable and have a spyglass, Lorelai would like to try to sleight of hand that.
Okay. Go ahead
Those are
and
expensive.
roll a sleight of hand. Yeah, there'd be a cantankerous old man.
It's a
hunched
minimum
over.
25.
Yeah, he would not notice when you sneak it off of his back. He all but gave Perrin the finger when he tried to talk to him as he hobbled down the path with his cane. So he's
Oh,
been
yeah.
a prime mark for this.
I feel good about my decision, and sweet, I have a spyglass now.
Those are fucking
So-
expensive, from what I remember.
From
They
what I
are.
remember, too, which is why when he
Like
said spyglasses,
10,000,
I was like, ooh.
some shit.
They're not 10 grand, but
Or
they're
they were just
They're
expensive.
1,000.
Yeah.
It wasn't cheap. It had a 1 and zeros in it. Close.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I'll probably end up over the course of, a couple days buying a couple hundred maps.
Yeah. Stacks and stacks and stacks of these things.
I will pour through them at night looking for any possible pattern across them. If I can figure out chronologically, like, if I have batches from the same map maker that are all different, but, chronological order, see if there's a rhyme or reads into patterns or anything like that to where things might be changing.
Lorelai will help, and you'll see her in a corner, kind of like trying to piece them together like puzzle pieces and try to make sense of it.
I figure if I wear my Eyes of Minute scene while I'm doing that, it should help.
Okay.
Would eyeglasses of alacrity speed up his progress?
They could.
I have a pair if you want to borrow them.
I think the Eyes of Minute scene are going to assist me more.
Okay.
Yeah. As you guys continue, you are only a few hours away. Once you found the railing, a few hours from Veridon. You guys turn around a large, densely packed area of forest, coming to a slight decline down, and down the hill, tucked amongst the forest, you see a sleepy little town.
I love this.
You would assume you have arrived at your destination, Veridon.
All right, so we should figure out if there's a town hall or something like that we can check in at. We'll figure out if there's a public teleportation circle we can get the key to someplace. And find lodgings for the night. Who wants to do what?
Carrick can
Going
find
shopping.
lodgings.
I'll go with Carrick because I'm gonna also try and find a stable for Helios.
Okay, so Carrick and Garm. Let me put you guys over here on the map so I can note things as you explore.
Garm is also like just looking around. Garm is just going to feel like Dragonborn don't really smile that well, but you can tell that he's smiling just out of calmness and like and tranquility just by being here.
Okay.
As Carrick's walking along, he's looking to see if he can spot a tavern apart from the inn, if the inn has a tavern itself.
Mm-hmm. I'm also gonna let Oracle like fly free around the town. I'm not gonna cage him or keep him close. Seems like a quiet, calm place.
Yeah, as you enter the town, you see a sign. Oh, I need to make that bigger. For the Mappers Guild. On the largest building at the center of town.
They got
As you
stores.
guys approach,
I
so
think-
Carrick and Garm are looking for lodgings and tavern and stables. What's Perrin doing?
I think the Mappers Guild would be a good place for somebody to check in at, so I'll head there.
Okay. What's Lorelei and Tyrael doing?
I'm gonna go see if there's any like shops. I never go fucking shopping. I need to go look for some stuff. See what the shops have, and I'll look for see if there's a teleportation circle while I'm at it. Lorelei, you wanna go shopping?
Sure. Yeah, as long as we can take the long route so I can kind of scope out the town a little bit. Eye potential escape routes if we need to make a quick exit.
Sure.
Now Nod would probably volunteer for the teleportation circle since he's the other spellcaster in the party.
Oh, he fucked off somewhere. I don't know where he is.
He's down there.
I mean, if he can go look for it, that's fine.
Is that acceptable, Mike?
Yeah.
All right, then he can go do it. Let's just go shopping. We can ask people about stuff on the way.
All right, so there's a market that you guys would eventually run into up this way. What was Lorelei doing?
She's going shopping with Tyrael and also just kind of generally surveying the town.
Yeah. Garm would notice a stable over here.
Very nice.
This Carrick would see a nice sign for maps and beds. Underneath it saying, Choreographer's Dream.
A cartographer's dream?
Oh yeah, Cartographer's Dream.
I was like, choreographers.
Yeah, there's also dancing.
Drank last night. My brain's not all there.
Carrot
Tequila.
becomes a Phoenix fire dancer.
All right, so what's Carrick looking for at maps and beds at the tavern and inn?
In the tavern, he'd probably be listening to rumors after renting rooms for the party. Just hearing like all the milling about of people making maps, buying and selling maps, interesting little tidbits they hear about the forest. Also,
Alrighty.
any people of note that come up in conversation.
Yeah, as you enter the tavern, you would see quite a bit of hustle and bustle. Almost everybody has maps out. Several people with multiple maps out. Everybody has their own maps. And they're compiling and sharing information, and there's beer spilling all over their maps. It's just non-stop conversation about the living wood and proper entrances, proper exits. Have you ever found this rock? Have you ever seen the satyr sitting on top of the boulder? Have you ever seen the abandoned church? And it's so much information just happening around you. And the barkeep takes notice and says, "You must be new around here."
It's like I am. I'm gonna be to make an adventure into Livingwood myself here soon.
He says, "Why else would you come to this sleepy little town?" He says, "Other than do such a thing." He says, "First drinks on the house, friend." He says, "And what's your name?"
My name's Carrick Brightwood. I hail from Valador.
And as he's talking to you and he's pouring you a beer, you see a creature appear from the kitchen area behind the bar. Humanoid in shape and size, female. Her entire being is covered in bark, except for her face, which is of a green tone. And she doesn't seem to notice you, but you would definitely notice her. You can roll history.
History. Could be worse.
It all started with a big bang.
You have no idea what this creature is. As she gets under the bar, pulls out some bottles, and begins to pour some drinks, and fills a tray, and heads off into the bar room.
He turns over to the barkeep. He's like, "Pardon me if I seem rude, but is that a dryad working at your bar?"
He says, "No, friend, not a dryad. It's a woodling."
Oh, tell me more. I've never heard of woodlings before.
He says, "They've started when the living wood started, from what anybody can tell. Dryad would be a close comparison. The belief is that whatever magic turned the living wood into what it is, allowed the dryads that were formerly attached to their home trees to wander freely. But none of the woodlings remember their lives beyond when they first left the living wood."
Carrick ponders to himself, resting his hand on his fist. Like, I wonder if that's a way to keep secrets from living wood from leaking. Although it does seem kind of sad that they lose everything they remember. Imagine if they have loved ones back in the living woods. It's kind of a sad existence when you think about it.
He says, "Are you thinking this to yourself, or are you saying it out loud?"
He's wondering it aloud.
He says, "It could be sad." He says, "Most of them keep to here. Some wander out into the world, but I've not met one saddened by their inability to, remember the life before. Most of them spend their time going back into the living wood, trying to reconnect with those memories lost. The vast majority of them are mappers themselves."
Have any of them succeeded in reconnecting with the wood?
"Not one."
I can see why they wouldn't be sad about it. Can't miss what you can't remember.
He says, "This is a fair point, something I've always believed myself."
So tell me, what is the deal with everyone having their own maps? Is there a common unreliability between sharing?
He says, "Personally, my style believes that sharing just makes things worse." He says, "Only once have I ever found the same landmark twice." He says, "And I've never been able to find it a third time, and that's twice in near 25 years. He says, "I only map on Toil's days now. He says, I just don't have time, like everybody else here." He says, "I have an establishment to run." He says, "But," he says, "to some, sharing does help." He says, "I don't know if you've ever mapped before or know the histories here, but the living wood shifts." He says, "And there's hundreds and hundreds of miles in which you can enter." He says, "And entering the same place twice will yield a different result from my experience. Every time. Third time, fourth time, fifth time, sixth time."
Carrick ponders for a moment, thinking about what he said, and then lifts his head back up. Has there ever been an instance where people traversing the living wood activated something that opened a new path for them? Such as touching a stone or moving some brush around?
He says, "Oh yes." He says, "This is commonplace." He says, "Anything and everything can be a trigger."
So in other words, it's not just it's shifting itself, but you can also exert an influence to make it shift itself as well. That's
He says,
interesting.
He says, "In some instances, yes." He says, "I believe that the living wood can also be controlled by intent." He says, "I've never been able to prove this theory, but it is a theory."
How have elves fared traversing the woods? Any better or worse than the others?
He says exactly the same. He says, for whatever reason, most who enter the woods, he says, they end up here.
What about druids?
He says, no different than the elves or anybody else.
Huh, that's strange. Not even the druids can commune and travel freely. Oh, that reminds me. Is there a druid circle nearby in this region?
He says, oh yes. He says, there's one about half a mile to the west of town. He says, you want to follow the clearly marked path, though. He says, any of the paths around town that you see are marked, do not stray from. He says, or you'll find yourself having strayed to some random location within the living wood. And it's not always guaranteed that you'll end up back here in Veradon when the forest decides to spit you out.
That's good to know. Thank you very much for all this information.
He says, anytime. He says, are you going to go it alone?
Like, no, I have a group of friends with me. Is there a good starting map that would be at least somewhat reliable for first-time people venturing into the wood?
He pulls out a single dice from his apron and he sets it on the table and he says, pick 6 paths, number them, and roll this dice. Good place to start as any.
That random, eh?
He says, oh yes sir.
Okay, so simply walk in at any known entrance and hope for the best. Got it.
The best way to go about it. He says, just really do plan to have time. He says, once it sent me about 400 miles south of here. He says, it took me quite a bit of time to get home.
So the living wood has the ability to not just pop you out of its borders, but somewhere miles or leagues away?
He says that is on its border.
Oh, it's that big. 400 miles south of here. That would pretty much make it southwest
Right at the-
of Islands. It seems
Right
like.
at the edge of, it'd be somewhere along the back edge of Dagnon's spine.
Yeah. So looking at like the world map, it's that little wedge you see below where it says living wood, like out in the far reaches of the trees there.
Yes.
Alrighty. It's like this is all very good to know.
He says, yeah, and he says, hold your friends close tight in there. The living wood has a way of splitting people apart.
How does the living wood take to vehicles like carriages moving through it?
He says, hope you don't have a lot of love for that carriage.
Noted. Alrighty. Carrick leaves a good tip of about 5 silver pieces for the barkeep as thanks.
His eyes go wide. He says, thank you, good sir. He says, come back and drink anytime. He says, next one's on the house too, friend.
So since he's got the reservations out the way, he's gonna go out to the market to look for Lorelei.
Okay. So they would have a space for your alicorn garm. They would have to charge double space because of his wings.
Very well.
That would be at 2 copper a day versus 1. And they ask for a deposit of at least 1 gold up front if you plan on doing any activities involving mapping, as there's no guarantee in a timeline in which you will be back. If you are gone longer than the gold piece is able to pay for, they will sell your animal.
Oh, I see. And how
Oh
long
my.
how long is the gold coin good for?
100 days.
Oh wow. Oh, okay.
Well, it would be 50 days as you're paying 2 copper a day.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'll pay that up. With was it 1 gold up front too?
Yep.
You never
1
know,
gold up
man.
front.
So 1 gold.
I want to give them like 10.
10 gold?
I would, just in case.
3 years worth of gold, 1.5 years worth of gold.
Well, they got to
I
refund
mean-
what you don't use, or
I mean,
Oh yeah, they'll refund it.
I'll do.
do you not have a lot of gold?
Oh no, I have a lot of gold. I'm just wondering, because I'm probably gonna bring him with us. I'll start with 5 gold
Yeah,
up front, and then
I'd cover Perrin. If Perrin plans to bring his wagon, no worries. But if Perrin plans to dock his wagon, then that'll more than cover Perrin needing
Okay.
to park his
Sure.
wagon and stable his horses as well.
Yeah, I'll cover that then, regardless. And
Wait.
do they want the copper up front or just when I pick up Helios?
Copper up front for the day.
Okay, so 2 copper. There we go for now.
All right. And Tyrael and Lorelei. You enter the market, and it's a vast assortment of general goods. Lots of cartography equipment. Lots of mapping devices. Lots of gizmos and gadgets of, people laying claim. You shouldn't buy his mapping product. His paper doesn't hold up to the weather when the living forest decides to piss rain on you. All of your ink will run. Stay away from his product. Try out our stone paper. And they're all trying to talk over each other and get your attention to sell you mapping products more than anything.
Oh, I'm not using a map at all, so I'm not gonna. Yeah,
Lorelei says, "I don't believe in maps."
you're making a map right now.
The market's laughing. There are a bunch of people are laughing that are within earshot. One guy's, get a load of these guys. They're not going to use a map. Non-mappers.
Oh man, I remember when I was in New York.
Hey, a map in here.
Hey, yo, how's your mother? Is she still a bitch? I remember hearing that from my hotel window. I laughed for like 30 fucking minutes. Like, what the fuck conversation?
What did they ask?
Yeah, I just heard this guy. He was on his fucking stoop, and he yells like across the fucking. I think it was, fuck, I can't remember, like 41st Street or something. And I can't remember the name he said. Like Tony or something. Like, hey Tony, how's your mother? Is she still a bitch? That's like one of 100 fucking things I heard. Anyway, yeah, it's just funny to me. Almost as funny as watching the little Hasidic boys say, I'm not going to say the word, calling each other the N-word.
Oh my.
I'm too white to say it. With an A. You know what I mean? But it doesn't sound right when I say it, so I'm not going to. But, yeah, I'm not planning on using a map. I just ignore them. What kind of, like, I'm looking for weapons of any kind, potions, and if there's any cool gizmos and gadgets that do anything special, you'd have to tell me what I see.
You'd see a potion vendor. You would also see a weapons vendor and blacksmith at the back here.
I do need +1. Go ahead.
So yeah, as far as anything that is a general magic shop, you don't see. And the gizmos and gadgets would probably be beyond you, and you would be uncertain as what their intent is outside of, the basic compass, basic things for mapping. There's some really weird sells here. There's people selling essentially portable hanging easels, like backpacks that you can put over top of your backpack, so you can
Perrin
actually
shit.
Perrin would appreciate some of the gear being sold here, but it's
So,
portable easels where you can be working on like 4 maps at once while you're also traversing the living wood.
yeah, no, I'm not using that. So,
Lorelei would
weapons,
keep trying to put gadgets on her head.
I ignore that.
That one
Like
goes
I
on your
always do.
foot, miss.
Oh yeah.
It's a boot.
+1 bolts. Do I find those?
The magic shop would have a few quivers of +1 bolts.
How much were they again? And there's 20 in them, I think.
He's selling them for 200 gold pieces a quiver. And he looks at you and he says, A rare mapper can afford something like this, let alone have interest in it.
Oh, what?
This
A
is-
mapper?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
not a
says-
mapper.
He says, "Oh well, gold spin's just the same.
Yeah, it was 20 in a quiver. How many?
A 20 in a quiver.
All right, I buy 2 quivers.
Mark off
Puts
400
me at
gold.
61, and I will.
Guard 40 plus 1 bolts.
40, 1740. What else? Anything else cool in there? No +3 crossbows.
Nope.
Balls. No other weapons I used. Trying to think. I thank him. Appreciate it. Potion shop. What's in the potion shop?
You would be able to find potions of moderate healing and below.
Moderate healing. Damn.
He also has he has 3 potions of moderate healing. All the light healing potions that you could need. And he has 2 potions of hill giant strength.
Ooh,
The
that's
moderate
fun.
healing
How
is
much
a
are those?
3d4 plus 3, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's better than nothing. Don't have a lot of.
Yeah.
Need to
Might
remember
as
to
well
buy
take
those
those.
in bigger cities.
Take
How
those
much are
and,
the moderate
hand them out.
potions? Take them and hand them out. How much are the moderate potions?
They run 800 apiece.
Oh,
Fuck off. Those are more than the bolts. I'm not buying any. How much are the hill giant strength potions?
300 apiece.
I'll buy both of the. I'll buy one of them.
Okay.
Never
Mark
had
off
one of
300
those.
gold.
Removed.
Yeah,
That
like our
it? It's
source
all
of
like-
potions primarily is the alchemist that we have at the keep.
Yeah, we need to
Personally,
get
I
more of
find
those.
that absolutely hilarious that, oh no, healing is too expensive at 800, but I'll take this hill giant strength. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I like just having shit. You never know. I've had those vials of disappearances for like a fucking year.
Plus, not to mention,
Damn
we're
it.
going to be fighting inside of a close wooded area. He may have to switch to melee if worst comes to worst.
Well, there's no, never. That is melee for me.
Yeah, true, because
yeah.
you don't take disadvantage at firing within 5 feet anymore.
Nope. Not since I started really.
Lorelai would pick up one of those potions of moderate healing.
Hill Giants 800. You're gonna
Mark off
buy an
800
$800 gold potion?
Well,
You
come in
remember they're
handy.
800? Yeah, I guess so. I got like some light potions. I'll just. How much for the light potions?
Those run 50 gold apiece.
I'll buy. And how much? What's the healing like? How many? What's the dice on those?
That one's
Do I
the
remember?
2d4 plus 2.
You said there's
I'll
like-
buy. Yeah, I'll buy 3 of them, just in case. You never know when anybody might need them. That's all he's got.
Chris, Kara could be great. They're actually greater healing, but it's 44 plus 4.
Okay, and the light ones are the 2d4s?
Yes.
Okay.
The reason healing potions get more expensive as they do more is because of the utility option within combat, being able to heal yourself for much more with one action as opposed to a minimal amount.
And plus,
Can't
from a lore
do-
perspective, probably rarer ingredients are used in their production.
Correct.
Can't do hit dice in battle. I forgot to ask. I was gonna see if there was a merc guild anywhere, in either mercenaries or, you know what I mean. I haven't asked that in a long time for some reason.
So this one of the guys over here and you talk, he says, guy comes here not being a mapper, asking about mercenaries. He says, who is this guy? Who is this guy?
I walk over to him. Hold on, I'm gonna come in there and roll intimidate. I'm making ramen noodle. I'll just roll.
Throws boiling hot ramen noodles in his face. Intimidation.
Watch me get a low roll. I'm gonna waste lucky points for no reason, just because there's something especially like just irritating about a New Yorker when he's talking shit? It's like an accent of dumb arrogance.
It's that mocking tone, I think.
Mhm.
It's tough.
Get a load of this guy.
Yep.
Ask him what, I don't know if 18's high.
What are you asking?
What's your problem?
He says, whoa! Take it easy, friend. Take it easy. He
Oh, I'm
says,
your friend now,
can't
huh?
take a joke. Can't take a joke.
You ain't so fucking funny, huh? I start mocking him just for God, you're an asshole.
He's just kind of looking down and like mumbling to himself, like.
Get out of here.
This is why I ain't taking no fucking maps, huh? I'm saying as I walk away, I'm just really enjoying his fucking accent, and that's how he talks for a while now. This guy. Oh, he's talking.
What's Perrin doing at the Mapping Guild?
All right. Well, so first off, I am not a member of the guild. What does it take to join the Mappers Guild? Since I'm here.
As you walk in, there's along the walls of the front office, and you see a little desk with a clerk behind it, and there's a whole hustle and bustle of people behind it, cataloging maps and organizing them into binders and books and exchanging them, other maps being preserved. And then on the wall to your left, you see a large map of the outline of the living wood with a path that appears to make it about a quarter of the way in, and a note underneath it that says, Finnick Lightfoot. Furthest to map yet. Underneath it.
Okay.
And
So, yeah, I walk up to the counter and go, good afternoon. Is it afternoon or is it morning?
Afternoon.
Good
She looks-
afternoon.
She looks up. So, good afternoon to you, sir. And she's a bookish small woman, human. Has small rimmed glasses on her face, and in front of her is a small book with maps, and she's taking notes. And you can see that she's taking notes on theory of entering the wood and how to make sure you end up back at Veridon when the forest is done with you. And she says, "Yeah, how can I help you? I haven't seen you around here before." She says, "Are you interested in joining the guild?"
I might be. I'm new to town. What are the perks of joining the guild?
She says, "Well, the perks of joining the guild are access to our library." She says, "It's a compilation of every map that we can collect that makes it beyond a certain point." She says, 99% of people don't make it past a few hours of entering the place before they're spit out. Everything that we hold here are people who have made travel through for periods of at least 10 hours. Because we pay top dollar for those maps, or top coin for those maps as well. She says, but you have to be a member of the guild.
Sell the maps to you? Okay.
Correct.
Now, this is the Mappers Guild. Is it only the Mappers Guild for the Living Wood, or are you affiliated with a much larger Mappers Guild across the lands?
She says, this is just for the Living Wood. She said, we don't have a map to anywhere else but into it and out of.
And what are some of the other perks of joining the guild, other than being able to sell you guys the maps and access the library?
Says to save a few coin. She says you get half off at room and board at the maps and beds. She says when working to. She says we'll give you jobs that pay coin as well, in addition to the maps that we're willing to buy from you. And you will have first preview amongst the other members of the guild of any maps that break past 10 hours the moment that they turn up. Could take you a week, sometimes two, to get around to it. There's a lot of members of the guild.
Okay. And What do I have to do to join?
She says, first, you have to go into the Living Wood. Have you ever been in?
I have not, but I plan to.
She says, well, you'll be back. So no worry there. And once you've gone in, do your best to make a map. Bring it back as proof of your entrance. And upon your return, we'll require 100 gold pieces per year.
All right. Well, that sounds like a plan. And if I go to the inn right now and tell them I'm applying for the guild, do I get the discount, or is that not till afterwards?
Not till afterwards.
All righty.
All right. She says, is there anything else I can help you with?
No, I take it I can't see the library yet either. Then.
She says, oh, no, not yet, but it'll be there waiting for you when you come back.
While I stand here and glance around, do I see like where the library would be in here?
Yeah, back behind her, past all the rows of tables and desks where everybody's working, you see rows and rows and rows and rows of shelves filled with books.
And I assume I know what, like, outside the library area does bump up against outside wall part of this
Yes.
building.
Yes.
And I can figure out roughly where that's at from here. If I wanted to walk around the building and look at the outside of the building, I could.
Yeah.
Sweet.
100%.
I'd like to case the building.
Okay.
I
Building
would like
is
to do it nonchalantly.
yeah, just moseying around. The building itself is about 80 feet by 60 feet, with the front office being slightly separate from the rest of it at about 30 by 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
It is a two-story building, at least where the section of the library is concerned.
Okay.
No windows on the first or second floor, except for the front office.
And I can't if the owl flies over the town, doesn't see any skylights or anything like that for natural light for reading during the day.
As your owl flies up, once it gets to a certain point, you see it level out about 30 feet above the building, and then you can see it kind of bumping off of something that appears to be invisibly preventing it from moving any further up.
Okay. And while it's there, it can glance over at the top of the building.
Yep.
Are there skylights?
There are not.
Okay. Okay. I will head to the tavern and order a drink.
All right. So what's everybody doing after their first round of moving around the town? Baron's heading to the tavern. What's Carrick doing?
Eric is trying to catch up with Lorelei in the market.
Yeah. What is Garm doing?
Is there a chapel or any sort of religious site around here?
Oh yeah, the stable hand would say, yeah, it's a temple of many faiths, west side of town.
Oh, thank you, good sir. I'm gonna go check that out.
Yeah, and as you
How do we
approach-
communicate with the keep real quick again? We got the pouches, right?
Eric has
Yes.
a diplomat patch
Yes.
that goes to empathy and whisper.
Yeah, I go when Carrick catches up to Lorelei, who I'm with. I get that from him so I can talk to my wife, send message to my wife and son.
Eric will lend you it.
All right. And
So they
then
know where I'm at.
Tyrell's hanging out, finding a spot to work on some notes. What's Lorelei doing? Carrick's meeting up with you. What was your intent, Lorelei?
Carrick would be asking about what all she's found in the market. Like,
Yeah, what have
sell.
have I observed anything that I would have found of note?
And also, he'd probably be interested in the town blacksmith as well.
Yeah.
So upon
Yes,
hearing those locations, he'll probably peruse the market a bit, specifically for the potions, and then drop by the blacksmith to inquire about the wares he sells, what type of work he commonly gets, etc., etc. Talking shop with him, essentially.
Okay. What would Lorelei be doing then?
After she gave Carrick a rundown, she'd probably head to the inn to grab a drink and again kind of just keep an eye on the people around town and see if she can overhear anything interesting.
Yeah. Similar to what Carrick was hearing in the tavern, lots of discussions about proper entrance, theory, ideas, all involving the living wood. It seems to be the only thing anybody talks about in this town. Garm, as you approach the Temple of Many Faiths, you would see inscribed upon the wall surrounding the entrance a symbol for every religion you can think of.
Wow. I'm going to. They're on top of the doorway?
Yeah, they're across the wall, along the entire top of the doorway, and moving up towards the ridge of the roof.
Okay. I'm just going to nicely look at all of them. If I catch my eye at the silver dragon, I will give it a slight bow. And
You would scan it, and
inside.
2 rows up and to the right, you would find yourself bowing.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna head inside.
Yeah. Inside, there are only 2 other people, and a custodian towards the back of it who is sweeping the floor. Along the wall are essentially, along each wall are altars, and then and the altars are placed within stalls, and on the outside of the altars are shelves containing things like candles, incense, different colored cloths, stacks of clay-hewn holy symbols, things where you can set up an altar befitting your needs for your god. And then simply placed under each of these shelves is a donation box with no denomination of cost for any of the products that you may use.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna start by going over and setting up an altar for Bahamut, and I'm going to drop in 10 gold.
Okay. Yeah.
Into the deposit.
Collect what you need. Collect what you need from the wall, and yeah, you set up your altar.
Okay.
All right, so got Carrick at the blacksmith. Blacksmith looks up. Lots of new faces in town today.
Aye, that there are. The town's a buzz as ever, it sounds like, talking about the forest. I was wondering what your wares are and what work you've been getting lately. I'm a traveling blacksmith myself.
He says, "Oh, not many of you come through." He says, "Always fun to talk little bits of the trade." He says, most people, I can hear that music.
Daryl.
Well, me.
He says, most people come through here. Don't take a lot of weaponry into the wood. He says, I used to map. And then he steps out from behind the counter as he's, coming to close to you. And he notices that he has a peg leg. He says, I'm a firm believer of taking weaponry into that god-awful place. He says, most are lucky enough to not run into some things that others are. He says, a owlbear took it clean from me.
Ouch.
He says, has no chance of getting it back. He says, leg was removed, thought it was the end of me. I rolled over and found myself in the middle of the fields, just outside of Eridon. He says, all in an instant.
So the forest saved you from being eaten alive, but made sure you had a lesson and not to go back.
He says, I don't think the forest saved me. He says, I think it was just chance, and it favored me that day. I don't believe the forest has feelings.
What other perils besides owlbears and getting suddenly thrown out of the forest lurk within the trees?
Occasional spider, size, holes in the ground that randomly open up. He says, one of my companions, we got separated. When we finally reunited back in Veridon, he spent over a day trapped inside of a tree.
Inside of a tree?
He says, yes. He says, can't move much within the tree. He says, but eventually the tree opened up and let him out directly to the east of Veridon.
Such strange behavior.
He says, but yes, any weapons that you may... Yeah, it counts as heavy armor.
I thought chain shirts were medium.
This is chainmail.
Oh, chain mail. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, so
There we go. I'm back.
if it weren't
Nope,
for
right on.
Garm's, well, Garm's got full plate, so he's not going to want a chain mail. Actually, I wonder what armor Tyrael has. He would have seen it because he wears it on the outside. What armor do you have, Tyrael?
+2 studded leather. But I think that's better. But I think there is a reason. I gotta look at it.
Dexterity, probably.
I can't
Yeah,
remember.
his dex bonus
probably
allows
weigh
it to
you down.
maximize out.
Yeah. Okay, so that probably wouldn't do you much good because that would inhibit your dexterity and
Does
make
it?
your shots worse.
It would inhibit potentially his AC.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because
give
it
him-
gives +1 to AC. I got +2. I was
Otherwise,
just seeing.
he doesn't have, anything too extra crazy. And the only reason that he showed you that chainmail shirt was because you had an impressive blade that you were willing to show him.
Carrick would also ask about what kind of work he's been getting lately from the people coming to and from the wood.
He says, not much work other than people just needing what I have. He says, one wrong run-in and you find yourself in need of some steel.
I was thinking about selling him like a piece or two of the reagents that I got, but I don't think he's going to need for pieces of fire giant Rimmer as slaying.
Nah, it wouldn't seem so.
Let's see. I'm looking at the stuff that we've stockpiled, and I'm thinking of some that I might want to sell him, but nothing's really jumping out. Because he's already got +1 of everything, so the +1 longswords wouldn't sell for crap.
While you're perusing inventory and talking with them, what's Perrin and Lorelei doing? Perrin, you cross paths with Lorelei, heading to the tavern inn.
Well, Lorelai, why don't I buy you a drink? We'll sit down at the tavern and see if we can't get some gossip about the living wood.
You had me
And,
at buying me a drink.
Alrighty. And I'll offer her my arm, and we'll walk into Maps and Beds.
Yeah, similar to Carrick, the bartender looks up and says, lots of new faces today. He says, first drink's out in the house, friend. Where are you coming from?
Well, this face isn't new. I'm like in my 20s, so we hail from Valador.
And he says, oh, that's a long haul. It's just a couple weeks travel to get to here from there. He says, how are the roads? He says, lots of commotion going out there in the outside world from gossip making its way into town.
We
It's all
didn't
good.
take the
friend-
roads.
He says, ooh, this is fun, as he's pouring your guys' ales and setting them on the bar. He says, yeah, please tell me of your adventures.
Well,
Our friend became a god to the giants down yonder. I still don't understand it. I half believe it.
He says, "Oh, all right. Well, if you're not going to tell me anything true," he says, I don't need to hear it."
I'll explain it to him.
Exactly. You get it. Don't tell it to the super tall bluish green guy though, because trust me, just don't do it.
He says, "Oh, there's more new faces to meet." He says, "Do you all happen to need rooms?"
I believe a room should have been taken care of by our friend Carrick already.
Yeah, fiery hair,
He says, "Oh,
pointy
yes.
ears.
Oh, you're with him. Okay." He takes note of it. He says, "All right." He says, "Well,
We're
do you
getting
guys
ready
plan
to
on
push
mapping?"
into the woods.
He says, "First time, huh?"
It is. I'm so excited. Like, I love a good map and trying to navigate someplace unknown. I've spent hundreds of years in the salt waste learning how to navigate and map that. Like, this will be something new.
He
Living
raises
wood virgin. Whoop whoop.
an eyebrow. And he says, "King of the giants and hundreds of years in the salt waste." He says, "What is going on out there?"
Oh, I'll reach in, I'll pull out some of the maps and navigation stuff from the salts and start explaining how it works.
Well, once you pull it out, his tone changes, and he's highly intrigued. And he says, "Ooh, mapping the salts is, I would equate that as on par with mapping the living wood."
Well,
He says,
that's
"Now
what.
this is a fun sight to see." He says, "Not once in my life have I seen maps into the salt."
Well, my next step is to learn how to navigate the living wood. Any tips, tricks, secrets that you may have come across, theories, anything like that, I'd love to hear them.
Yeah, tips and tricks and theories.
Yeah, he gives the. It's basically automated. You wouldn't have heard what was told to Carrick, but he would give you basically the same spiel, and then he'd pull another dice out of his apron, and he would tell you, "Yeah, pick 6 paths, assign a number to them, and roll the dice."
Lorelai picks it up and rolls it.
He says, "There you go. You just need to pick the paths first."
Did I win?
Pretty much. She's like, "So, what?"
I love her RP of Lorelai.
So, no interesting theories from you about how that forest moves?
His theory is that he believes that the forest moves on the intent of the mapper, but he hasn't been able to prove it himself.
Question. Um, are we like right on the border of the living wood here? Are we kind of in it?
You guys are kind of in the living wood, but this
Right.
is a point in the living wood that has been mapped out and sort of permanent.
That's why. Okay, it changed. So,
Yeah, this is kind of a convergence station. It seems that more likely than not, you will end up here when the living wood spits you out.
so Kirill's remembering a very old turtle. He's like remembering why he came here, why we came here, and he doesn't know how to talk to that turtle. Oh, I put him up there because he's gonna float up there. Yeah, because it's high. And he just wants to look at the woods, and he doesn't know what he's doing or how. He only has ever spoken to people telepathically because they were doing it to him. And he just assumes they could hear him. And he's just thinking to himself that he doesn't know what that turtle is. Hars, I don't know even if it's a Hars vein, just something very old is in that wood, and we're supposed to come and speak to it. And the void knows that we were coming here. And he's thinking that very clearly and of nothing else while looking out to the woods.
Yeah, one of the notable parts of the living wood is as you're looking out at it and from this roof is the massive tree. Think Yggdrasil.
Yeah. That's what he remember. Yeah.
At the center of the living wood.
Was there a vision? I can't remember. There was a reason something told us to come here. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ophiuchus, when you guys were down in the Underdark.
Yeah, the memory of that is what's in his head, and that we're here, and that we're coming.
All right.
And it's getting bad.
Yes.
That's all he's doing.
As Garm's inside the temple at his altar and finishing up, from behind him you hear a very feminine voice. You look back as she says, Worshipper Bahamut. Don't see many of you around here, let alone Dragonkin. And you've never seen a being like this. Feminine form, seemingly naked except for the woody encasement that makes up her, that kind of as a skin and clothing. Her face is the only thing uncovered. Yeah.
Perfect.
You've never seen anything like it.
So sorry, is she made of wood or like a tree person?
She's a woodling. You wouldn't know this yet, though. But what I described to Carrick earlier.
No, but like the way what I'm seeing, she looks like a tree.
She's a humanoid.
Okay.
So she looks like a person, but instead of skin, and she's seemingly naked. She's not wearing clothing, but instead of skin, it's tree bark around her entire body, and flowing out of her head like hair, are leaves, vines, with some stylish flowers and theme of summer.
She is Groot.
Yes, exactly.
Jinx.
I turn to her and I give a slight bow, saying, "Yeah, I'm just traveling around with my companions. We're headed towards the Living Wood, or through the Living Wood."
If anyone wants a reference to woodlings, it's in the Discord chat.
Okay.
Yeah, she would nod and she says, "Yeah, it's not too many come in here and practice their faith before heading into the wood." She says, "I practice all of the faiths. This is my establishment."
Ah, well, it's a very nice place. And you follow all of them?
She says, "I try to." She says, "I at least pay homage to all of them."
Who is it that you favor among the rest, though?
She says, "I don't favor one over the other." She says, "I try to give an equal amount of time to each." She says, "I don't remember much before this life of ending up in Veridon." She says, "and some comfort comes from having faith in things beyond me.
I see.
And having faith in many things makes me feel good."
And how long have you been here?
She says, "I've been in Veridon for, I remember waking up some 60 years ago? It's been close to 60 years now."
60 years. And you decided, when you woke up, that you decided to build this temple worshipping all the faiths.
No, I built the temple about 20 years ago. She says,
Ah.
"I spent a vast majority of my time so far mapping."
Mapping the Living Wood.
Yes, she says, "but the Living Wood gave me no answers."
The Living Wood speaks to you?
She says, "No, it speaks to nobody."
Okay.
She says, "but..."
Hence the no answers.
Hence the no answers. If I were to gain help in traversing the Living Wood, would any one of these deities be of any use?
She says, "whichever one you adhere to."
Very well.
She says, "My name's Chrysanthemum." She says, "You can call me Chris for short."
Very nice name. I am Garmilithrax, but you may call me Garm.
She says, "Nice to meet you, Garm. I do wish you
Likewise.
best of luck to mapping, and I hope to see you back here. It's good for those of faith to practice it."
Thank you. If I do make my way back here, I will be sure to revisit the temple and let you know of our success or our experience.
And she nods and smiles. And she walks away.
And I guess I will make my way to the maps and beds, to the tavern.
All right. Tarek, you're going to make your way there too after you're done perusing the shops?
Yeah, he doesn't really have anything that would spark the interest of the smith because he also has +1 stuff. So he'll finish up his chat with him and then make his way back. He doesn't really have the money to buy a greater potion, so he's not going to bother with that. At least not without the team's approval, because we do have a party fund of about 9k, but he would want to make sure the others are in agreement to using it to buy more potions.
What's Serial doing when he's done contemplating on the rooftop?
Oh, he fell asleep while he was doing that. He was thinking about an old turtle asking him to come to the woods. So now he's dreaming about it. So he fell. He was thinking He was thinking too hard. He was thinking very, very hard about all of that. So he fell asleep.
Hill Giant King.
Yeah, well, he was thinking about that first. Well, after he fucking got irritated because she was a tree, there's nothing. He was looking through the window, but he got back up there. He was staring at the woods, trying somehow, not understanding how to use any of mind abilities or anything like that, to tell what's his face that we're coming, and that the void, the last time we spoke to it, they said something about knowing where we were going, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was thinking about that too, and that it's things are heating up, and that we need to talk. That's all. He was thinking about that real hard, and he fell asleep thinking about it. So you guys see him, you know where he's at. You can hear him snoring.
Also, while we're in the bar having drinks and whatnot, there's a lot of other mappers around, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'll
You'll actually find yourselves having to sit with strangers. There's so many just tables just covered in maps and spilled beer and ink and pens and people chatting and talking over each other, and you guys will probably actually have to sit apart if you're looking for seats.
Lorelai's getting wasty faced. She's not learning any new information.
I am going to spend probably about 5 silver worth, because I'm assuming drinks are like a copper a piece.
Yep.
Yeah, but probably about 5 silver worth, buying drinks for other mappers, getting them to tell me their stories, asking if we're in groups, if tying us together with ropes would be a good idea to keep us from getting separated by the wood.
There's a large amount of laughter when you suggest tying ropes, and they say, "Doesn't hurt to try it again."
Well, see, I don't know. I've not done this. This is why I'm asking you guys.
They say, "No, we don't mean anything by it, but not a lot you're gonna think of that we haven't tried."
When Carrick gets in, he'll ask the others via panic if Tyrael's present. When he finds out that he's not, he's going to send Iggy to go gather him and guide him back over here.
Yeah, Iggy would fly up, and similar to Perrin's familiar, Iggy would get to a certain height and then start skirting along, not being able to push past about 40 feet up.
Mm-hmm.
And would find Tyrael sleeping on top of a roof, staring out at the living wood.
Tyrael wakes up to a bunch of squawking happening next to him.
Go! You drink some beer and goes back to sleep. Decanter of endless water. Geyser.
The bird's squawking at you and pointing a wing towards the inn.
Why?
Well, it's dodging a geyser of water.
Yeah.
People below are getting sprinkled on and looking up. Going, "Ah!"
All these worshippers are just getting wet.
Well, they're not bowing, so he doesn't care. He's sleeping. Are we leaving tonight?
I mean, the bird can't speak to you, so you'd have to just.
It's just
Take-
squawking and pointing its wings still.
I don't understand you.
What do you want?
Iggy would start flying a little bit towards the end and just start circling, squawking at you.
Oh, God, he left me alone.
He's still squawking at you. You can still clearly hear him.
He drinks, he goes back to sleep.
God, I wish he had his old abilities. Just shoot a fire dart at his ass.
He woke up with just enough to think there was a fire. He thinks he put it out because he doesn't see it anymore. And then he fell back asleep, kind of like me in real life. You want me? You're gonna have to come get me yourself.
Iggy flies back over to Carrick and communicates what's going on. About how far is it from the maps and beds to the temple?
A couple 100 feet.
A couple 100 feet. Carrick's gonna get within about 120 feet and shoot a firebolt right at Tyrael.
Jesus.
Roll for it.
Wait, are you shooting at the temple?
I'm shooting at Tyrael.
Are you gonna 100
Who's
feet?
on
You're
the
gonna hit him?
temple?
Hopefully, that's the point.
Roll.
Okay.
Carrick sets temple on fire.
You failed.
Yeah, that goes wide off into the sky.
Mrs. Tyrael hits the top of the temple.
Does it even hit the top of the temple with it being that bad?
Oh yeah.
That's up to him.
Like, that was a flat one. I may as well have shot it straight up.
Is the temple on
It
fire?
hits the wood-shake shingles on the opposite face of Tyrael. The mist went wide. Begin to ignite as Tyrael hears and feels little bits of hears it, and then looks over and sees the roof is actually on fire.
Will I have noticed this? Did I see that happen?
You wouldn't have seen it if you were still inside.
Okay.
But immediately a group of mappers would start admonishing Carrick. Like, how dare you use fire? Do you know how much can be lost here?
Don't worry, I'll put it out.
Large crowds
Tyrael, you
gathering.
put it up.
And you hear people
Tyrael's-
booing Carrick, and just, he used fire. Do you know how much information is stored here on paper?
He's on the temple, not the Mappers Guild.
It's just
We're in the
they're
woods.
gathering and booing. You see a tomato fly past you.
Jesus Christ, Carrick.
Oh no.
Carrick's
I
trying
float-
to find a way to get up on the
And then
roof
some-
so he can put out the
Uh,
fire.
Well, I fucking woke up because the building I'm sleeping on is on fire.
You see
And
people
then
throwing
I put it out.
vegetables. You put it out, and people are cheering up top and cheering at Tyrael.
Are they bowing?
Putting out the fire, and you hear somebody say, "Good job, Fred!" And then you look over and see Carrick with the crowd gathered around him, booing him, and more
I'm
and more
going
vegetables are
to-
showing up.
I'm gonna follow the crowd that's going out to sea and see what's happening, and I'm gonna see that the temple's on fire. I'm gonna go assist putting it out.
That was easy. I got a lot of water. He's just thinking to himself while he's waking up. Like,
Cabbage.
I'm
When you step
conquering
out, a
people in my sleep.
cabbage flies past Garm and hits the door frame.
I'm just conquering people in my sleep now. That's what he's thinking to
Lorelei
himself.
throws a tomato. Rude.
That's hilarious. See,
Tomato.
what everybody else is doing.
You know she's got the dex for it.
Yeah, I do.
I see all the fruit throwing. I grab tomato off the ground because people are throwing stuff.
Oh,
I go into the bar to see what's happening.
You pass Carrick as you're going into the bar, and the crowd gathered around him and admonishing him very, very sternly, and people still booing. A little kid even says, "The bad man lit the church on fire!"
Who lit the church on fire? What church?
What church? That's right, he doesn't know he flew on top of a church, does he?
Oh
No,
my
it's just a
God.
high point.
Oh my God.
Eventually,
He asked Carrick, "Why didn't you just send your bird or something to wake me up? Why'd you have to shoot at me?"
I did! Did you not notice the giant flaming crow on top of you, squawking at you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the barkeep comes outside of the establishment, and he starts calming the crowd down. And he says, they're new here. They're new here. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down and just go about your business.
I'm gonna
It's
facepalm.
fine. There is no fire now. I'm sure he'll be willing to pay for any repairs needed to the roof as he looks to Carrick.
Yes, I can pay for it.
And he says, "See, all is well." As he kind of ushers you inside, and he says, "Yeah, definitely some things that being new here, you should know.
Don't set the temple on fire. Gotcha.
Yeah, fire isn't forbidden, but use of fire in such a way through magics, especially at the risk of catching things on fire," he says, "can cause great issues in this town."
Yeah.
He says, "Our entire history is drawn into the maps that make up everything that we are.
Do they keep maps in the temple too?
There are maps everywhere."
There's a mapper in there.
Interesting.
Her wooden boob said it.
And then he gets closer to the barkeep, like, "Is there a god of maps?"
He says, "No." He says, "There are gods of travel, though, many of them." He says, "And many mappers do follow those faiths." He says, "But don't worry," he says, the town will forget. Word will spread pretty quickly of, what you did, but within 3-4 weeks, they'll forget as long as you don't light anything else on fire."
It's gonna be kind
He
of hard
worships
to
a god of-
hate on me. I look like the embodiment of fire as a person. Even my
So-
bird is on fire.
He says, "So just do your best to keep your head down, friend." He says, people will forget.
Carrick,
And then
Laura,
some guy at the bar says, "People don't forget."
Lorelai will loudly announce she'll buy the whole bar a round of drinks to, extend their apologies, try and smooth things over a little bit.
Loud cheers heard throughout the bar, and then kind of changes the gossip around a little bit that was traveling into the bar from the outside, and some of the eyes that were starting to wander towards Carrick, calm down in excitement once free beer was flowing.
Yeah.
Is 10 out of 20 pass or fail?
For what?
Throw on my tomato.
You'd have had to meet his AC, so it goes wide and hits some poor old woman in the side of the head.
Oh my God.
I point at Carrick before it even hits her.
I'm just.
Oh,
Lorelai
I'm,
hands her an extra beer.
What is this
Garmin-
guy's problem?
Scarm is just going to
He's
say
just
a
over here
prayer
starting
under
stuff.
his breath, like, please forgive me for my companions. They have good intentions, but they're idiots.
There's no worries. All sorts of colorful folk come through this town. He says, "So this must be the whole party," and Talnod would be there bubbled. He says, and he hands each of you a room key. He says, He says, the house is to the west. He says, 3 of you will be housed there. He says, 3 rooms are available upstairs. He says, but you're free to continue to drink and do whatever you need. I'm at your service. My name's Tobin. And then the whole time, did Perrin just ignore everything that was going on? And just continue to hang out with the mappers, just assuming it was your party doing party stuff?
Yeah, basically.
He's like so invested. Meanwhile, I'm like trying to apologize for everybody else.
My
There's
party's
actually a
doing dumb
lady.
stuff. I am not associating with them directly so that I don't get tied with setting the town on fire.
Lorelai's just trying to make sure everybody's having a good time.
I was hoping somebody would throw fire around.
I mean,
In
if
my
anybody's
defense-
gonna do it, it's gonna be Carrick.
in my defense, the nickname for my alignment is Chaotic Stupid.
I give the room key back. I was comfortable where I was.
You just sleep on the freaking roof of the temple again?
I gotta guard it and protect it
From
from
what?
you.
I knew that was coming before you asked. Seen that coming as soon as you asked.
I probably go back to the church myself and apologize to Chris for Carrick for trying to burn down the church.
I cut
I'm
you
sure
off
I'll
at the
tab
pass.
later.
I passed her on my way up to the roof. I was like, that dragon and his friend lit this thing on fire. Did you see that? Ridiculous.
Oh god.
You'd have to roll deception.
Damn, I'll do it. If I fail, I'll smile like I thought it was funny.
She says, "Your humor's not lost on me, friend. But I've met your dragon friend."
I'm a funny guy, and
He's
I'm a
not the
king of the
type.
giants. I'm a giant. You know that? As he floats off. I don't wait for a response.
Yeah, she says, "Definitely oddest bunch I've seen in a while." To herself as you're flying off.
I'll explain it to her later.
But yeah, Perrin would
I'll get it.
continue to go. Some of them would kind of take Perrin under their wing, like there's excitement for having somebody new in town. Some of them that are a little more drunk are excited to be talking about their theories with somebody directly. They would cut each other off as another would throw their arm around you, be like, "Don't listen to that ass. He has no idea about proper procedure of backtracking to ensure that you end up in Veridon." And it's endless amounts of information. A lot of it drunken babble, kind of like being the only sober person at a party.
Okay.
Like, a lot's going on.
Basically being me every time I go somewhere.
I figure, by doing this, I'll probably get about 5 to 10% of useful information. But if that just means I have to get more information so that I can get the volume of useful information I want. So, like, if I have to spend most of the evening and, talking with the mappers and buying drinks, making jokes, talking technique about different mapping techniques and stuff like that. And, I'm down for it, like whatever it takes. But that way, at least we have, the basic knowledge of the forest when we go in there, as opposed to having to learn everything fresh that we can, get basic knowledge this way first.
Yeah, a common theme in that percent that you would have gleaned over your time spent here, being moved around the tavern and in different seats, looking at different maps and different techniques for drawing your map and seeing all the different varieties of notes. The common theme that you come across is the sky is helpful. Noting the position of the sun to help with heading is huge, because the forest has a habit of turning you around, but the forest can't change the position of the sun. At night, the same thing with constellations. It's very easy to get turned around in the forest and lose your heading, but being able to take note of the sky can help you, at least if you're going north, south, east, or west.
Okay, and compasses, they lie then?
Compasses have a bad habit of not working in there.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, no, I just want to make sure I get as much information as I can first before we go in.
But yeah. And then as you guys would, continue to carouse and gather information through the night and make friends and pour drinks and get through your first night, I assume you guys would be starting your next day entering the wood.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yes.
Let's do this.
All right. I feel like that would be a good place to start next game.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Cool.
Yay!
Sweet.
All right. Well, everybody gains 4,000 experience for the session.
Nice.
Hello.
I can hear you.
We can still hear you.
No, it's I
Hello?
wasn't saying hello to you guys. I was saying hello to my app that's no longer working all of a sudden.
Uh-oh.
Well, it's a good time for it to crash on me. There we go. Maybe?
At least
I
made it to
think.
the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Good timing.
Yeah, for sure. Just gotta add 4,000 experience. It's not gonna let me. I'm excited
Yeah, that was
to jump into the living wood.
Yeah, it's fun. I've been waiting for a long time to do the Living Wood, so this is exciting for me.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like Varadon. It was one of my first creations. It was one of the first points on my map,
Oh,
next
sweet.
to Valador and the Brinelands. So there's a lot of time invested in it.
Yeah, that map
There
is
we go.
gorgeous.
Excellent.
Oh, I'm
Burn
so
it to the
excited now.
ground, Tara.
Yeah, please don't. I actually like this place.
Yeah, serene little town on the edge of the world. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, nice.
Burn, baby.
Yeah, little mystery of the wood itself in there and the denizens. Like it's fun. I like Varadon. It's like one of my favorite parts of D&D is making maps. So I thought it'd be fun to create a place that involves making maps,
Very
and its entire culture
Yeah.
is making maps.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's a good stopping point for the video here.
Lorelai
So-
wakes up the next morning in the middle of this field of corn, drunk.
Just all the way. Okay. Wow.
It's there's a Brine Bay Brewing Festival, and back then, before I redid my character, she was very, very low on con and couldn't participate in any of the activities because she would get drunk in the like contests leading up to them. She was just drunk and passed out the whole time.
Okay.
Who was it
then.
that won? I forgot.
Next day, she would hear somebody say, "Oh, I see you made it back from the wood."
Yes. No memory whatsoever. It's like
She's like, "What? I went in the woods. I really
maybe
blacked
they
out."
don't go through the woods. Maybe they just get completely plastered and like wind up in the fields the next morning. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess that's a good place for us to finish the recording here and the stream.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching, guys. Just remember, subscribers will get access to the VODs as the stream ends, but the videos will go live on Friday morning, I think. I'm gonna try to get Friday morning, but yeah, Friday for sure. So
Cool.
thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.